All right then, welcome everybody to an exciting stream, an exciting day today because we have an expansion. An expansion I've been looking forward to for quite a while, so fingers crossed it's good. I'll be sad if it's not. I mean, I think that with most of the content in the game, I'm excited. I don't really want to blabber on too much. I want to get into it. So let's get into it. Get the game up. Let's get my camera working and everything. And fingers crossed, it's a little bit laggy. Let's check. I did just have a few issues with my monitor a second ago, so it could be to do with that vaguely. I'm gonna say that's fine. I'm gonna be happy with that. Oh, maybe not. Let's see. There are things I can do if not. Right, we are gonna be on Tarvelard because Tarvelard is our sort of end game character. Feyrand being obviously our completionist, but Tarvelard being the one that is most through the content. He's the one we took through the last little bit of content, and I'm not gonna lie, I didn't do what I was supposed to do, which is I didn't do any gear obtaining because I had the thought of I'm putting all this effort into getting gear, which is like better admittedly, but not massively better, and it's gonna be all for naught because I think very, very quickly I'm gonna get myself better content, better gear. So we have the Song of Waves and Wind. We have already completed chapter 1. I think the easiest way is just to go to After Battle Minister. I have seen that. I haven't fully gone into it yet. I've kind of tried with the expansions and stuff, and I know it's not technically the expansion part of it, but I do try with like new content to kind of go into it a little bit blind, which is slightly counterproductive, I would say, but I think it sometimes makes it a little bit more enjoyable. How after battle? But yeah, there is something to do with crafting. You can make it, instead of having your vocation, you can choose which crafts you want, which is really, really nice. I don't know if it's 3 still or more.
Megovanen.
The Fall of Potato. Thank you for the follow there. I think this is in the right place, or is it? So there is, I maybe should have prepared a little bit. I know it's Minas Tirith, so it's going to be a problem. I know we can go Midsummer, but is Midsummer the correct way to do this? I don't know. So we're gonna spend a little bit of time trying to work out where on earth we're going to. That'll be fun. Always fun. I did actually plan on streaming a little bit earlier. Well, I say that. I forgot the clock's changed a little bit. It keeps throwing me through a little bit of a loop. Ooh. I'm a little bit worried about Minas Tirith lag. I'm also a little bit worried about just the pure amount of players. I'm actually kind of glad I'm a little bit later because servers actually went up about 40 minutes ago. I'm hoping 40 minutes is enough time for a lot of people to kind of get a little bit through, because what we had an issue with the Song of Waves and Wind chapter 1 is killing those rats or whatever. It took forever. Oh, look, it's one of my favorite cloaks. Not my favorite. Wait, is it my favorite? I can't remember. I don't think, is it? Anyway, so we completed the Song of Waves and Wind chapter 1 in a previous video. It's also really weird seeing myself at 0 experience, but we are going to be completing, hopefully, I don't know if we'll get all 7 done today, but I'm also going to be hopefully streaming tomorrow as well, and we can maybe make a little bit of progress. So we get some Renewal of Gondor rep, which is nice. I feel bad for the people that grinded that out beforehand, because here we are. And we got legendary experience because that's fine. In fact, I have 6 days and I'm nowhere near where I need to be. I'm less than halfway. Oops. Marks of renewal, which I think we have a couple of, virtue experience, and we also get some armor, which yeah, more well, I don't know how I feel about that because of essences, right? But physical mastery is damage, so we're getting less health but more damage in theory. So I don't quite know. The thing is, we actually got the Delver's armor is pretty decent, so I don't think immediately we're gonna get better stuff. I probably won't go with that. I'm pretty happy where I am, but as we get to like 145, I think we'll be fine. But no, we are not in the at the color of Umbar just yet. Maybe I should have died. I did not. Again, I've not really looked too much into like changes. Yeah. Anyway, Gondor is wide, and the king and queen will not travel swiftly. They will have reached Imloth Melu by now. Let me speed up your way upon your way, so you can aid them in the utmost day. I wonder if this is just like, hey, the content isn't immediately done. This is a way to catch up. Like, this is where you would finish normally. Roughly, I'm pretty sure you finish like outside or talking to Aragorn here. And I can't actually remember exactly where we end. It's like the bodyguard thing at the end, right? That was the last thing we did. And then we also got the king's steed thing. That was what we were doing. Also, Bloodbath, hello, how are you doing? Anyway, so yeah, we're gonna take it a little bit slower for our first run through, and then hopefully it'll be interesting. I'm excited. I've again not spoiled myself too much. The only thing I've seen is the post that they were doing of like the Kindred of the Coin, is it called? Kindred of the Coffer? Something along those lines. I saw a couple bits of art which looked pretty cool, but we too will.
I too am concerned about the Kindred of the Coins.
That was it, Kindred of the Coins. But whatever power now controls Umbar is beyond the bay. We must first see to the well-being of our people while we still have the time to do so. So that's not our problem for now. Let's worry about that later. Already we have come to see the deepest wounds inflicted by the War of the Ring. Okay, she's the widow of my fighting companion Forlong. See the guy in Minas Tirith that made me dislike Minas Tirith, pretty much. Her grief is twofold, for she also survives another, her brother Denethor, victim of Sauron's manipulation. Arwen has taken one of the healers to accompany that accompanies us, and 2 of them have gone to speak with Lady Vanulos. Will you attend them and learn of my queen's administrations have eased her sorrow? The hall is to the east. I am really struggling with words today. Hopefully I haven't lost my bearings too much, because again, it's been a little while since we've been in this area. I'm also hoping there aren't too many enemies that we have to defeat and wait for. That's the main thing. Let's grab our horse and I mean, it says just to the east, right? So I should probably also go. Do we actually get anything? No, it's just one of those, hey, this is roughly how long the content's gonna be. So I kind of like, it's fine, but because I'm pretty sure it's up there, but it has no quest rings, no quest markers, so that'll be interesting to work out. I also have reduced awareness. I was gonna make a joke. I saw a post today. Let's actually have a look at these first. I saw a post today that was like a bingo for the expansion, because you know, it's like, what's gonna happen? And one of them was reduced awareness already, so we're already partway through that. Oh, we've also got quests.
If you are here to help, I ask that you seek out Chief Healer Brunil in the Hall of the Gentle Hand.
Okay, so what I'm going to do, and what I generally do for the expansions, is just the first time around, I'm going to just do the main content. That's like the main thing, and then we'll maybe come back later and continue on. But for the most part, the focus is just the main epic quest line. We also have in our inventory the Allure of Umbar Barabel, which is just our teleportation item. I don't know if we can use that immediately. I know with Gundabad, we have to do a certain quest line before we were able to actually do that, so that'll be interesting to see. The healer is deep in discussion with Lady Vanulos and the Queen.
I was just telling the Lady Vanulos that all clouds will surely pass, even in times of grief.
I don't know how I feel about that voice, but okay. Okay, there will be a new dawning and the sun will shine out in the morn, such as you could never expect in the nighttime. When all it seems dark. It is true that there may be in sorrowful days and many tears have been shed, but it is like I always say, there is a remedy for it. You just have to find the right one. I learned a great deal about healing remedies when I was a child in Imloth Maliu. Yes, I grew up here. Nice. Hopefully, I don't have to go picking flowers. I have done way too much of that around Mordor and North Ithilien, so please don't make me do that again. I'd rather not. Anyway, something that seems... Ioleth seems... must have seen something in Arwen's expression, for she falls silent. Doesn't even have to say anything, just a look.
The Queen and her healer, Ioleth, mean well, but they can provide no healing for me.
Mine is no ordinary reef, for there is not sorrow of a woman whose husband marched into war and perished there, or that of a woman whose brother ruled a city and fell when it burned. The eyes of Lady Vanellos shine which hears, but sadness alone does not line her face. Her expression is haunted too by guilt. Would I have no part... Would that I had no part in this, then might I grieve, as does the rest of Gondor. But I have done as they did not, for I dreamed of what they would transpire, and I did not prevent it. Just because you dreamed, I don't really think there's much you can do. As if I put an axe in the hand of he who slay my forlong, or cast a torch to set aflame the city walls behind which my brother Dennis Thor perished. I think that's the grief talking. I think you just need to... Time will make you... Oh, I really like that cloak. That's one of my favorite cloaks. Just getting a little distracted, but one of my favorite cloaks. Anyway, Arwen.
Not all dreams have the meaning you give to them, Barnulos.
My people know well that there are those whom the Valar grant the gift of foresight. Gift, I say, but if so, it must be an unwelcome one. Okay, none disbelieve you, sweet one. Your dreams came into pass in the way you foresaw, and as great is the pain to grieve, especially when the grieving must begin before the loss is suffered. But to think you might have prevented what the Valar showed to you, can you really believe it might be shown? That's a good way of putting it. It'd be like you were shown by God. Whichever I am on Evernight. Used to be on Arkenstone, now on Evernight. I really need to go back on Arkenstone at some point in time. Okay. Well, take this bowl and fill it with water from one of the fountains outside the hall, then add it to some of the water that falls from the height of the northern reaches. Help soothe the mind of Lady Vanellos. Yeah, this is right now, today, Umbar Release. It was supposed to be last week, but it did get delayed. How do I rate my anticipation for Umbar compared to previous expansions? I can't fully remember. Like, before the Shadow, I was actually quite excited for, because it was also new early game content. But for... is it here? But, like, Gundabad was the last full expansion, right? And I don't think I was as, like, caring... No, I don't dislike dwarves, but I was like, we've had a lot of dwarves. You know, at the time, it's like dwarves, like, the last couple of things. And I also wasn't the biggest fan of some aspects of War of Three Peaks. And it was kind of moving on from that. So I think for Umbar, having, like, a new bit of story, like, starting the next bit of content is really exciting. I also really like, and again, I haven't looked too much into it, but from the first chapter that we played, plus the designs I have seen posted on, like, Twitter and stuff, I really like the design sort of direction for Umbar. So that's definitely something that is nice. But ultimately, we'll see by the end of today, tomorrow. It's 7 chapters. We have done 1, obviously, so 6 chapters. So I'm not entirely sure if we're going to get that done today. The plan is, today I am going to stream for probably about 4 hours. So that's going to be about until 10-ish my time. And then I do plan to release some videos of this. So I think my plan is I probably want to, like, try and like, cut it up into something. And then release that either tomorrow or Friday, potentially. If not, maybe a couple days after. I think that'll be interesting. Fill the bowl with water. Okay, so yeah, it's in the falls. That's fine. Sort of like I did with Gundabad. Gundabad never fully released content-wise because some of the files corrupted. So it was lost and I was unable to do anything. That was unfortunate, but I have taken proper precautions this time. So hopefully it won't happen again. You never know. Anyway, return to the ceramic bowl filled with water to Queen Arwen in the Hall of Lady Vanellos in King's Gondor. So this is supposed to remedy, or she just wants to send us away so that they can just like have a chat, basically. That's maybe what's going on. I mean, I'll take it. I'll take gear and virtue experience for just being told to go away in a kind of nice way. I'll live with it. I won't be massively upset. Just a little bit upset, but not massively upset. But yeah, going back to... Oh, wow, they are totally levitating. I'm sorry. I was going to get distracted. Sorry, I knew I was going to get distracted, is what I meant to say. But I feel like I notice these things a lot more often now, but they are totally levitating. I believe in you. That you will do great things with your power of levitation. But yeah, in comparison to Umbar... Sorry, in comparison to Gundabad, I think it will ultimately depend on just the flow of the quest. I think Gundabad, although I somewhat enjoyed it, wasn't my favorite expansion. I will still say that Isengard so far is my favorite expansion, but in terms of just pure content. But I think Gundabad really suffered from how far you had to travel and like the multiple layers thing. A little bit. I think it was cool, but sometimes it was just like frustrating being on the wrong layer, like trying to find your way to different places. Anyway. Okay. Arwen accepts the ceramic bowl from you, taking care not to spill any of the liquid within. She passes her hand over the water and speaks quietly, saying words that I dare not repeat, and hands the bowl to the Lady Vanellos. She indicates should have a sip of the water. She does, and Arwen smiles. Okay, we tell you no remedy acts as quickly as we might wish, but I hope you'll find the comfort you desire. Grief for your husband Forlong and for your brother Denethor, but think not to carry the blame of which befalls them, in that you are blameless, and the fault lies with Sauron who wove it, or with the Valar who thought such dreams might be of use to you. Ultimately, just blame it on Sauron. I think that makes sense. It's his fault.
Is this elf magic, my queen?
I cannot thank you enough for your kind words and for this remedy. I will grieve for my family and keenly, but you are right. If the dreams of Vanellos were sent by the powers, none would be able to turn aside from them or prevent the horrors so revealed. That would be arrogance, but unbefitted the Lady of Losenach. I hate saying that word so much sometimes. Or indeed any woman of Gondor. Thank you for aiding Queen Arwen in this ritual of elf magic. I appreciate what you have done, and I will not forget it. I am just wanting to say I feel like she is totally lying. I could be totally wrong about this, but I feel like Arwen is just... It's like a placebo. Being like, hey, elf magic will make you feel better. And it then therefore, just like... She feels better, but it's not actually a remedy. I was expecting a little bit like, haha, but maybe she might have overheard. Gotta be careful. Anyway, let's return to King Elisar in the Tower Guard house in the center in King's Gondor. And once again, we do get a nice little... I wonder what they look like. Oh, I totally forgot I've got a green screen background. Oops. I should probably get that fixed. But I am going to go and do two things. One, I'm going to fix that. Secondly, I actually was thinking about doing a cosmetic thing, right? Like making... Let me fix it real quick. How do I find my folder for the Lord of the Rings Online? There we are. Yeah, I think I'm going to build myself a new cosmetic. And most of the time, I know it's pretty generic, but I'm going to build my cosmetic sort of to be Umbar based. And I think building off of what it gives us makes a lot of sense. So I need to just swap two files around. You can tell I haven't really been in my my UI that often. Right, I think if I just do that, and then I do... Really hope this works. I don't have to relog. That'll be kind of awkward. Hey, there we are. Perfect. All right, where am I going? I am totally lost. I'm pretty sure this was roughly where I was supposed to be. Wait, no. The levitating children. They are my waypoint. So the levitating children were there, which means... Wait, no. The levitating children were a thing when I went and got the water. I think it's this way. This is what happens when you don't give me quest markers. I get very lost because don't get me wrong. I know like Ered Lewin blindfolded. I can do that. Zone I haven't been to for a while. Struggling. I kind of worked it out. Eventually I'm here. This is going to be the main thing. Not the main thing, but one of the things that we're really going to struggle with is just the sheer amount of doors. I think it's going to be a problem.
Arwen was able to provide some comfort to the Lady Vonulos. I am pleased to hear it.
But it's no surprise to me, she's always had a rare talent for putting folk at ease, which is only one of the reasons of which I am glad she accompanies me on this tour of our kingdom. She left me little choice, of course, but it will do Gondor so much good to see its queen. Okay, let's grab our jacket. I wonder what the heavy looks like. I'm not as sold. I do like the robes, but it doesn't quite work on the hunter. But yeah, we'll grab this, and then even if I don't equip it as a physical piece of armor, then at least I can put it on and have it as a, you know, as a cosmetic set. So let's have a look at what we have. Without their lord, Lady Vonulos is not the only resident of Lostmark who grieves the loss of Forlong. He's a popular figure and treated all folk in the lands within his governance as if they were his only children. Sometimes he treated me in that way, despite the difference in our ages. Good old Forlong they used to cheer. We fought together on more than one battlefield, and he was always a true friend and big-hearted. And his frame grew to match. Good old Forlong at last for the war. People of Lostmark will need to provide for themselves until another lord is raised to the station, and I no doubt that they will. I doubt not they will, but it will take time to replace such a hole as Forlong leaves. Let us travel south to Arnuk and see what people there need. Okay, so we have to just hope someone shows up. Maybe someone we want. I mean, there was a whole thing about like petition for someone to leave last time, so kind of the opposite now. We need someone to rise up. So we actually get a we're gonna go to Arnuk. That's fine, and we also get a ring, which I might have to look at. Obviously we got 140 stuff. Oh, okay, so obviously we were talking about essences earlier. This one says basic essence, so I wonder, is there anything, is it maybe because these are filled that I don't see it? But basic essence, and then maybe we'll have like an advanced essence or something of the sort. I guess everything right now is just going to turn into a basic, and then maybe later on we'll obtain more stuff. Anyway, that's fine. We get a ring. I'm not that... I mean, crit is more... I lose agility, but I gain a lot of health. I might swap it just because that's a lot of crit, and I don't have a... I do not have a essence on that one right now, and I'm not that worried about it. But I guess we'll see. Also, virtue experience. I should probably totally double check that I'm actually spec'd. Fidelity. I mean, okay. What I'm going to do is, because when I level up, surely it's going to increase. So I'm going to go with like determination, and then it will just go into some basic low level ones for what I do get. And then when eventually we level up, I don't have to remember to change that. So because I know I will, like, I'm really bad at remembering to switch which ones I need. Also, I'm really bad at actually just doing virtues. I really need to just spend like a couple of days just doing slayers and stuff. It's probably when you kind of rush a character when I transferred. But anyway, Arnuk is actually not that far away. I think as well, if I'm correct, maybe I don't want to do it to spoil myself because I don't know how it's going to show, but we should have stable masters from here to here, so we can at least speed up that process a little bit. That is one nice little thing. And I was supposed to do the thing I said I was going to do. So what's like a spare, just any of these? I mean, this one's just got my like Wildemore robes. Reduced awareness. We all love it. My favorite effect. Anyway, let's go put that on, and then let's maybe turn into... do I have anything else cosmetic-wise that maybe works a little bit better? I'm not a huge fan of the cloak. I'm not going to lie. Like... My shared storage not going to work? There we go. It's not even shared storage I want. It's wardrobe. We're going to get a little bit distracted. I mean, I have my bow, like, back thing. Maybe that's what I use instead. A little bit distracted by what is, quite frankly, a very important thing. Just saying. I mean, I could always just put on the shimmering cloak. That is such a mismatched piece of gear, but whatever. Okay. Okay, so once again, I don't actually know if these are quests that we just didn't do. They're quest level 140, so it's not like we can tell too much. Oh, okay, so we have enhancement runes. That's also a really good point, is we can reforge soon. I wonder if we can reforge now already. We can, okay. Is it worth reforging now? I'm probably going to wait till I level up just in case. But I wonder if this is a new quest. But enhancement runes are interesting. Definitely going to have to come back here at some point and just like properly go through everything, like I said. But again, I want to mostly prioritize the epic content today, just for the story. And then, you know, we can come back later and do all this other stuff. What do you want? I am interested to just see what they are. Just kill enemies and stuff. There's badges. A lot of crafting places, you know. I really need to maybe pay attention to some of the crafting things. Actually have a little bit of a detailed look into whatever the new crafting stuff is. Maybe my horse... After seeing the elk, maybe my horse is a little
Might I take a moment of your time?
Dark for this area. Maybe I should be a little bit more happy and dreamy. And... That's one of my favorite cloaks. Cloaks? Horses. The folks of Arnak seem stare at King Elisar and his traveling companions. Hey.
Is that the king?
It is indeed. He doing here? He's come in to say hi. Just so you know he lives. Have we done something wrong? How could you bring one... What could bring one such as he to our little village? Is he here to punish us? Have we not suffered enough? Oh, if only Lord Forlong had returned for the fighting, he would speak to the king. Tell him we have done all we would. That feels very, concerning. It's like you see someone important, you're like, oh, what did I do? I do not have a lifetime account. Unfortunately, I was not playing the game at that time. I think if I could have, I would have. But unfortunately, not really a thing. I mean, I've said it, and I don't think they would ever do it. I think they've gone on record saying they wouldn't. But if they ever did do a lifetime account again, definitely on that. I have put quite a chunk of money into this game, so I will take a good value if I can.
That is King Elisar. Oh, I would know him anywhere.
My family attended the royal wedding. So did I. Many a time. Far too many times, honestly. I think about it in my sleep. We were among the crowd. Even at a greater distance, I could tell the king and his elf bride would be happy in each other's arms and would rule Gondor fairly and well. I did not expect either of them to come to Arnak. Is he going to get mud all over his fine clothes? He's been through worse. I can guarantee you.
That is the king? What's he doing here in Arnak?
Doesn't he know he's supposed to stay in his tower? What's he going to do in here in Arnak? I don't think he's a very good king if he doesn't know where he's supposed to be doing. We're supposed to be picking berries and hunting deer to fill the storehouses. Now that the men have come back from the war, he's not going to do that, surely. I mean, maybe. He might. Are you going to judge him if he does?
What do the folk of Arnak need us to do?
Some folk believe you are here to punish them, as kings and stewards rarely come to the village before, but then others plan to pick berries and hunt for game to fill the village stores. I'm not going to punish them. They and their lord did more than we could have expected of anyone during these past few months. We'll help them with their task, my friend, and even when we move on, we will leave their storehouses filled, if that is not clear enough. Yeah, that is a thing you pick up eventually, especially playing back to back to back and like several bits of content. So I have like multiple characters that are over like different parts of the game. So I have like some here in Endgame, if you want to now call this endgame, like new content, some in like mid content and some quite early, and I hear like, oh, that's that person. I'm like, ooh, that shares the same actor as that person. But I think it's you know, it's a thing about scale, right? Anyway, so we now need to pick berries from bushes in the southeast of Arnak. I actually expected us to get given a quest to get deer, like get meat and stuff, but I'll take it. I will happily. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I feel like I'm going to get, like, from remembering this area, there's a little camp here from what I understand. I think there's one over here of enemies, so I'm expecting to get ambushed somehow, somewhere, but that's fine. It's fine. I think we can handle them. It's so weird seeing me not in my normal armor. Okay, until we get more stuff, I'm just gonna go back to this because I'm so used to it, and it's so weird not seeing my character in his cosmetics. Annoyingly aggressive Avank. I love the alliteration, it's great. I did say though, like, one of the reasons I played Lotro when I was younger is because of the free-to-play aspect, because that's kind of when I started, a little bit after that. I'm going to guess there's a berry over here somewhere. Okay, maybe not. So I actually had this discussion a little while back on another stream of, like, I don't know if I would have gotten into Lotro maybe as early as I did if it weren't free-to-play. Like, if I was, like, a couple of years older, I don't know if I would have, like, and therefore had money to spend. I don't know if it would have been on Lotro or if it would have been on a different MMO, but I'd like to think I would have ended up in Lotro anyway. Okay, we have 3 out of 4. Where is our 4th berry? Is it there? Oh, is it Eladan? I feel like I need to get off my horse because one day I'm going to get massively attacked. But yeah, Lotro can be expensive. It's a lot better now, obviously after the free play changes and stuff, but I think it's good. Lotro, Mordor specifically, was the first big, like, game purchase I ever made, was buying the Ultimate Edition of Mordor.
This was my berry bush. No, it is fine.
It's not your... There's multiple berries. You... Okay, fine. You sound so disappointed in me. The bounty of all these bushes will end up in the Arnak storehouse. Mind not that I picked the finest berry in this bush before you arrived. Well, I chose to pick from these berries. My sibling is more of a hunter and brought down the deer not far from here. Perhaps you can start preparing the meat to bring back to Arnak. They should be just southeast of here. So we don't actually have to fight them. We're just preparing them. Is that right? Let's see. Let us see. Okay. So he's already slain the deer. But where is he? Or she. Okay. The hunter who brought down this deer steps out from behind the rock.
I borrowed this bow from my brother Ero here. Will you return it to him?
This is a really weird type of fetch quest. I've taken this thing, return it. Not, I've lost this thing, can you find it? I may be queen, but it's more important for the folks of Gondor to see that I can provide for them, as does my husband. We return this bow and quiver to him while I prepare to finish preparing this meat. Cannot speak today. It's been some time since I had a task, but I do know how it is done. Ella here will be somewhere within Arnak, working alongside my husband. So did she know? Or did he know? Did Eladan know? Or was it just he knew the bow? Something special about the bow. The sound. The arrows. Or something. I don't know. You can never trust anymore because, like, people are always disguised as other people. I mean, not always. Just, I mean, Arwen literally was disguised in chapter 1, so a little bit of spoilers there, kind of, but yeah, you know, it's been out for a while. A time. So, unsurprisingly, there is quite a large gaggle of characters, but it luckily hasn't sort of caused any problems yet. And I think as we, you know, get further into time, it's it's going to spread out a little bit more.
Ah, I see my sister has finished with the bow and quiver I lent to her.
I hope she was not disappointed to not to bring down any prey. You shall ever hear that Arwen is even now preparing the meat from her fruitful hunt, and he laughs. Even after so many years, she has the skill for it. I thought residing in Imladris these past years might have driven how it is done from her memory, but I suppose it is not so. She needs not to prove it to me, though perhaps it is the folks of Gondor she thinks needs convincing. Anyway, thank you for the return of my bow and quiver. Can I swap it? I'll give you mine, and you give me yours. Makes sense. Gimli is just here complaining, saying how many chores does he have to do. He's like, I kind of help save the world. Do I have to keep doing this? But, you know.
Thanks to our efforts, the folk of Arnach will be well provided for in the weeks to come.
I hope this will be a comfort to them and to the memory of Forlong. We speak to a Baranor and learn if there is aught else we can do before departing. Perhaps we'll have news of villages in Upper Lebanon that we can guide our course. So obviously, remembering from last time, like chapter 1, the whole thing of like going through, helping, sort of showing like, hey, I'm here, I'm a person, like I'm not just gonna be up in my ivory tower or whatever. Oh, that was the person I already talked to.
We do appreciate the work you all have done for us. Of course we do.
It's just the folk of Arnach are a little uncomfortable with their king doing such labor. It's not unwelcome, they're just unused to such things. Not unfair to say. They have taken hard the death of Forlong. If you encountered him in the tavern, he might buy ales for everyone in the place and spin tales, but he couldn't help but believe. No matter how incredible they seemed, but he was one of us, good old Forlong. This king and elf queen, they seem well-intentioned, but it'll take time for the people to warm to them. I'm sure you can understand. The starting zone, what, for the expansion or for the game? I mean, this starts from Midsummer, like, chapter 1 is starting from Minister of Midsummer, so, which was, yeah, chapter 1 released a couple of months ago as sort of a precursor, but, yeah. And then this also technically started there, but I think it was just a teleport to get you back on track. Okay. As I said, Aragorn has done much worse than, you know, hammering a couple of nails in. Tom Ladden must be emptying of refuge now the War of the Ring is emptied and the people of Gondor return to their homes. I'd like to see how that proceeds, but perhaps we need not bring the company there and in its entirety. Good idea. Bring a couple there, and then we're fine. Okay, so now we got a few things. So you can't really see it in chat because my face is in the way. But we are now... what is it? We have done known to the renewal of Gondor. We just got 2 marks of renewal. We got our flickering title ring, which we may or may not switch. I'm not entirely convinced yet. And I did get 150 Electro points. Not 150, sorry. 150 experience points for 150 virtual experience, and then I got 5 Electro points. 150 Electro points would be a lot, and I would do whatever it entailed many, many times. But sadly not. I'm just misreading. But what do we get this time? So we actually get a more rep. That's fine. I'm interested in these. So I have these are Gundabad ones. So comparing, that is pretty much double, right? I don't think there was anything higher than this off the top of my head. So these are minimum 141. Maybe there was a better one than this. I feel like Gundabad was weird with level things. It was very odd. But yeah, hopefully we don't need them, but it'll be nice to have them. I'm also interested if I remember when Burglar with Gundabad could only loot Athelas Essence. So I wonder if that's the same here, or if they've actually like sorted that issue. Be interesting to see. Anyway, I'll go with the rest of the traveling party to Pelargir, but I ask that you journey first to Tumladen and speak with the captain, Captain Imladrir. If he has need of you, do what you can to assist him in my name. When he can assure you that the situation at the refuge is well at hand, then I will see you again at Pelargir. I must discuss with Surgon, as you know, and I would prefer to speak with him sooner instead of later. Fair enough. High walls, closed doors. Can we swift travel there? Because I feel like that is a bit of a trek, and if I can swift travel, I would happily take that.
There.
No, is the answer. That's a little bit rude. This is actually fully open now, because I think we could get to... Were we able to get to Dora now? Or was it Lynn here? I can't remember. This is very green. I like it. I can't remember how far we could go. We could definitely get past Pelagia, right? I think it was Lynn here that we were able to get to. Anyway, let's try and not die. Where does the new book quest start? So you start chapter 1 if you haven't already done chapter 1, which was previously released. It is started in Minas Tirith Midsummer, specifically the Midsummer, not in the After Battle. And then I think you go After Battle after that. You can also start chapter 2 from Midsummer as well. There is a quest that will let you start it up from there, which is how we ended up doing it. I'm actually really interested. Let me just dismount. I'm curious on sort of how much damage I'm doing, because I'm still not fully used to the stat squish. That seemed fine for 140. I mean, obviously we were a little bit further ahead of him. There was a little bit of the lag, so that'll be interesting to see. And let me guess, reduced awareness. See, I have that weird thought of, if I weren't streaming this, quite honestly, I'd probably wait a day. Get most people out, you know, because everybody's going to be like trying to log in now, which isn't a bad thing. In fact, that's a very good thing. However, in terms of like playability, sometimes it's like, oh, reduced awareness. That kind of sucks sometimes. You're less likely to see it. There wasn't any cues, which is nice. Okay. I saw a strange wagon and a strange vial. I am curious. The wagon is abandoned with evidence of recent use. Inside the wagon are scattered vials of green ichor that look eerily similar to you. Is that supposed to say similar or familiar? Because, like, okay, unless I'm reading this wrong, of green ichor that look eerily similar to you. Does that mean that means that I'm reading that as eerily similar to me, like physically to me, not familiar? Anyway, maybe I'm just reading that wrong. I kind of want to do this quest. Search the wagon. This is the sort of quest that gets my attention. Okay. I'm just reading it wrong. Cool. That's fine. At least I'm not going crazy necessarily with the way I read it. At least it's not just like I read it completely wrong. It's just I read it wrong, but it's not like impossible, I guess, to read it that way. That's what I'm going with. Anyway, I mean, we've got to go this way anyway. I'll take a little bit of a detour. I'm also really curious on the... I mean, it's 131 enhancement runes, so it's not like it's going to do us a mass amount of good. I have discovered Tumladen. I still think familiar might work better as a word, though. Anyway, isn't that from the Vial of Apothecary? I mean, it's Vial, so I'm guessing they do seem familiar. This one leads up the road to the right. How did it get distracted? I mean, I say distracted. I am supposed to go to Tumladen up here. My bow is nice. I do like my bow. I honestly, I do think it's just the default legendary bow. There is one bow I do really like, but it is a bit too big. I have it on my champion as a cosmetic. I think I have it here. Let's have a look. Bows. I like this one, actually. This is one of my favorite bows. It's actually quite a generic bow, but I like the wood. I like the random, you know, jutting out bits. But it doesn't quite work, I think, with Tarvelad's style. It might work better with his Mariner style, which is what I'm hoping to get a few more pieces for. Anyway, talk to the wagon driver. Okay, this is a relatively easy quest. It's probably going to lead on to more. We can expect that. But some fellow requests a ride in the back of all the way in here. I was happy to oblige, but I noticed the vials he was carrying with him a very pungent, off-putting odor. I questioned him about it, and he got defensive and hit me, tried to steal my wagon. One of the patrols noticed and gave chase, so he grabbed what he could of his quarry and ran off. I don't know where he is, I'm sorry. Indagir. Who is Indagir? I don't... Maybe it's been a while, and I just don't remember. I might Google it. Is Googling it cheating? It's gotta be a vile apothecary thing, right? No? Okay. There's literally a forum post asking about it, and that's about it. I will leave it. I will, however, get my Stable Master because I don't want to forget that. My bad. Cool. Literally the entire reason I went this way. Okay. I think just something about the green vial, plus having this quest giving us Athelis essences. I was like, oh, is that a health potion? Are we going to be able to get a little bit more health potion goodness out of it? Okay, I'm going to try and not die as early as possible this expansion. I did a lot of falling off of things in Gundabad. I'm going to try and be a little bit more careful this time. I am pretty good, in my opinion. I have clips to prove it. I am pretty good at not dying to fall damage. However, I also have clips that prove I am very good at dying to fall damage. So I think it evens out. I'm a little bit more on the good side rather than the... Because it wasn't fall damage with Fee-Man. It was the death plane. I just fell into it. Anyway. Hello, Captain.
I cannot tell you how pleased I am that Lady Teranese has returned to Minas Tirith.
Now that the need for safe refuge from the war has passed, but there are fresh difficulties to replace the old ones. A group of dwarves has come with a proposal. I am not certain I have the authority to grant it. Perhaps you will speak with them since you have come lately from the king. You may know better his mind and what he would think of their proposal. They are to the southeast, intended to survey the buildings of Tumladen. Okay. They are from Furik Zahar. I am going to struggle with that one. I have gotten pretty good, as I said, about gauging how far I can drop before it, like... There's there's, like, dropping and breaking your legs and dropping and dying, and I'm pretty good at, like, working out the point at which that changes. I can be like, that's gonna not kill me, that's just gonna damage my legs, which is probably not a good thought process in just real life, but, you know, in the game, it's fine. Okay, bow to the dwarf expedition from Furik Zahar. Hello, guys. I like your gold. I like the green. Green is my used to be my favorite color.
And I trust you speak with the king's
so
authority.
it's like it's up there. Just not quite up there. It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance. I trust you speak for the king's own authority. The captain with whom we spoke earlier did not, and he spent many words telling us so, wasting his time and our own. I am pleased you have taken his place. My fellows and I were sent here by Hamisir, ruler of the Tamarin folk who dwell in Furik Zahar, stronghold of the White Mountains. Long have we worked alongside the people of Gondor, helping to repair and rebuild their cities, but the recent devastation is worse than any in our memory and requires a good deal more effort and resources for it to be made right. Okay. Where's this going? To that end, Hamisar wishes to send more crafters and dedicate more blocks of stone to the work. Defari, Seteniel, and I have come to survey the needs of this refuge. Can you assure us the King of Gondor will give us appropriate payment for any work we perform here? You tell him that King Elsar is known for his fair dealings, and he greatly desires that Gondor be restored. The dwarf smiles broadly. I feel just, I don't know, maybe I'm just set up and it's not actually gonna end badly, but I feel like this is he's gonna be like, see, now you owe me like 20 times actually what you've got. I'm gonna really inflate how much you owe me. Then it will not regret hiring the Temamir dwarves of Furik Zahar, my new friend. Let us continue deeper into the refuge and see how much work will be required. I'm a little concerned. You know what I want to do, though? I really want to find myself a different horse. I know it's a little bit of a weird... I'm going to get the Elk of Flowing Silver. I love my Steed the Ash Plains, one of my favorite horses. But I feel like the Elk is a little bit more... maybe fitting. I don't know. A bit more majestic. And less doom and gloom, as much as I do, again, adore my my horse. Okay. I mean, I see the pile of debris. Now I gotta work out what they say about it. Shakes his head and clutches his clucks his tongue as he studies the debris. This ain't looking good. I don't know if I can afford it. I am a little bit poor. Only 279 gold. I don't think that can afford the rebuilding of Gondor. A nearby resident of Tumladen sighs loudly as the dwarf so the breeze. Now they emerge from your mountains, of course. Not enough horses in that list. True. Feyrand is the master of having that list. I actually don't know. I still have my 3, but I think you have to go to a person, like a vendor or whatever, and do it. I'm not actually sure if you can do it yet, though, or if it's going to be like next week. Where were you during the war? I mean, it is a fair question. Let me calm you down. I mean, we can all blame Ghost. Ghost is an easy one to blame. It's all his fault. I do really need to work on horses for this character, though. I just need to work on this character as a whole. But I didn't want to worry about grinding out gear because, well, I was just going to get new stuff. You know. I hope the King of Gondor appreciates the work on his behalf, for most of his folks may not. Would they think to aid us if our stronghold was directly threatened while their own towns and villages were not? I know the answer, though they believe otherwise. Thank you for helping us keep that place. I bring my report back to Hamisar, and I'll tell him the king has, for now, agreed to these repairs. Our king will our price will be fair and a friendship between our folk. Well, there is more to be repaired than just stone, it seems. Will you convey an invitation to your king on Hamisar's behalf? He's welcome to visit us at Furuk Zahar in his earliest convenience. After all, it's the only one thing to do business between reliable intermediaries such as you and I. But when rulers can meet face to face, it seems to me much more can be accomplished better and more quickly. I mean, we were pretty much... We've taken part in most... big battles, as you could say, or epic battles that have taken part here, but the dwarves, they weren't, or these dwarves specifically, and you know, I mean, if anywhere gets attacked, we're probably gonna get caught there. I mean, if their area does get attacked, we're gonna get brought over there. We have many friends in many places, it seems. Okay, back to the captain we go, though. Talk to the captain and see what he has to say.
I am not surprised to hear your report.
The folk here wonder why the doors of the dwarves remain shut during the war and only open when danger has passed. I say they wonder, but it is not the truth. They know the reason and resent the dwarves for it. Where was this help when it might have saved lives? I know each folk must look after its own first, and we could have used, the assistance before now. It's good you prevented the insults from turning into bloodshed. We've seen enough of it this year, at least. Even if Temamir stays safely in the mountains and saw none. You go down to see King Elsa in Pelagir. Tell him in the agreement you brokered with Furuk Zahar. And also tell him the refuge of Tumladen stands strong, its purpose fulfilled, and with good fortune, it will not need to be used for many years to come. We know many wizards. We know the most powerful wizard in Middle-earth. Rook. So, insta-win. And we fought him. And defeated him. Okay, I need to remember, do we have a Pelagir swift travel? We might, but there's a chance it reset. I actually don't know. It feels like we've lost a few, or they just maybe weren't available. So Pelargir East Gate. Is crafting update live? I don't know. Let's see. Shall we? While we swift travel, let's have a little peek. Release notes. Crafting. Vocations have been removed in favor of allowing players to train professions individually. Yes. It seems so. I mean, we even made a wizard have a temper tantrum, basically. That's the way I always see the ending of Isengard. He just got very mad, had a temper tantrum, threw us off his tower. I think that quite aptly explains that. Did they do exactly what we did, where we're trying to work out how to get down there? I think they are. Okay. I should be able to, yeah. We need to go down this way. The map is a little bit, I think the map is sort of copying a previous map's look, but it doesn't actually have that pathway. I think we do have to go all the way around there, which is fine and not the end of the world. But yeah. I might just saying, I might just filter out the ding noise potentially. We'll see. I think these people are following me. We'll see. I went the wrong way. Hi, Eladan and Oliver here. How you doing? Oh my god, there is a lot of people. Okay, I'm gonna do the good thing, right? I'm gonna say this now. If you're in this situation, especially around festivals, do everybody a favor: dismount, because it makes life easier.
It is good to see you back, my friend.
How stands a refuge? Good. Okay, you tell Elsar that the situation is good. You know, it's all right. Came to survey the state of the building, as well as resentment felt towards them by some of the Gondorians. I understand their feelings, even as I wish it were not so. Perhaps I should accept the invitation in order to repair the relations between my kingdom and theirs. But first, there is work to attend to here in Pelargir. So now we're going to get our Aethelus Essence. We cannot use it yet, but it's worth having.
Ships that were once the pride of Gondor lie now at the bottom of
Ooh,
the bay,
a dagger.
burned along the coast.
I do like me an offhand, so we'll see. Okay, show me the state of the Gondorian navy, and I confess to you that it is worse than I fear. The Corsair of Umbar knew where to strike and how much force, and the ships that were once the pride of Gondor lie now at the bottom of the bay or burned along the coast. It is true we see some of their own vessels, without which we would have not arrived at Minas Tirith in time, but most of those were in poor shape, or are now. We do not know how much of the Umbar sea power has been inherited by the kindred of the coins, but unless it is very little, we haven't a scant hope of repelling it should the kindred cost the bay with ships of their own. I have accepted Sergon's suggestion that he step down as Lord of Lebanon in favor of his son Faltharan, but there's a condition: he must supervise the rebuilding of Gondor's ships, and must do it with the utmost haste. So we can't use it till 141. But I am interested to see how that goes. So less physical mastery, we lose crit, more damage technically, but also we do gain agility, we gain vitality, we lose our crit, we lose our finesse, and we get less physical mastery. I'm not sure if I'm too sold. I think we could do better potentially. Yeah, Umbar is out today. About, what, like an hour ago? Hour and a half? Something like that. I do think it would be nice, but also I think getting him back, like, when content isn't Aragorn focused is maybe a little bit more difficult, like making consistency. I think it's sometimes if you have someone who's doing multiple voices,
My king
That's
has
not-
done
yeah.
me the great honor of allowing me to step down.
I will do the best I can to repay him for it tenfold, as will now my son Faltharan. Gondor's fleet is now at its lowest ebb now, but I hope to restore its glory to such a height as is not seen in hundreds of years. Perhaps then I shall set sail once again, as I do in my dreams. But I have a task and it will occupy my every waking moment. My son has his own task and it involves clearing out some of the unsavory folk who've taken to preying around upon the folk of Pelargir. Ships cannot be built without craftsmen. Craftsmen cannot work if they're being burgled and harassed wherever they cross the city. We aid my son in his task and make the port city more safe for my workers and for their families. Defeat brigand toughs on the western side of Pelargir, King's Gondor. Okay, let's make our way. Let's get on our elk. I do want to put a lock on some of these items because I would like to hold on to them, and I'm going to chuck that just up there. I can't use it, obviously, just yet, but we shall see how things go. One thing I'm a little bit concerned with, ever so slightly, is we are on chapter 2.4. There are 7 chapters, as we said. I am a little bit concerned that this is already expecting us to be 141. Not necessarily expecting us to be 141, but we're like, you know, a fifth of the way there. I'm really worried we're going to get level blocked. I have my my heater from last year, and I have definitely had to start using it a little bit because it was a little cold the last few days. The problem is it's that weird thing where like it's got 2 settings, and the high setting is too hot, and the low setting is too not hot enough. So there's no like good middle ground. It's my only complaint. My only one. What do you want, Faltharan? You're gonna just...
There are brigand toughs on the western
Oh,
side.
I thought you were gonna make us talk to
They
him.
must be taught a lesson.
Okay. So 8 brigand toughs. This is where we might have... I guess true. Yeah, you'd have chapter 1. So there's a little bit more where we weren't gaining experience. Oh, it's definitely better. Like, I can technically stream later. Internet's a lot better, and there's just a little bit more freedom to it. There is a chance that I'm not moving flat, but like moving my setup around. So I was potentially going to move the computer into the other room. Potentially. I'm not entirely sold on it because there is still a little bit of echo in this room. But I think it's fine for now. Like, it's totally fine. And there's like certain advantages to being in here compared to the other room, and certain disadvantages to being here in the other room. So it's gonna be quite a trek if I do, or quite a job if I end up eventually doing it. But I guess we'll have to see. So is it up here? Where am I going? Is it up another layer? Yeah, I could use destiny points, to be fair. I mean, I'm already doubled for a bit of it. So, how do I even use destiny points again? There we are. Oh, there we are. Okay, I'm gonna go the other way. Okay, this is where we're gonna have potential issues of... God, it feels like I'm doing a reverse epic battle. Yeah, this is where we are potentially going to have issues. And that is, there are people waiting for a limited amount of enemies. These enemies are here. There is not a massive amount of them. If we can potentially get enough on it, like enough hits just to get the kill, basically, that's nice. But this is one of the advantages of waiting a little bit, you know, having a couple days of, or even just a day of not playing, because this is where it really will slow us down. So hopefully not by much, but 8 enemies is quite a lot. We had this discussion a few streams back where we were talking about the rats in chapter 1, similar issue to this. And the idea was maybe for like the first week, or maybe just even the first day, or like first 2 days, just up the spawn rate of a couple of these quest specific enemies, because it'll help. Right. I feel like every time I look around if something spawns. They're all gonna spawn over here now. Gonna be here way too long. And every moment we just have another person joining. But because everybody is kind of coming in at the same time, I could go and do some other quests, right? That would make sense. Just like, oh, go pick up those quests we were talking about earlier, complete them, get a little bit of that experience boost. However, I'm going to come back and it's going to be exactly the same issue all over again. Damn it. Why did you not do anything, God? I love, even in world chat, anyone want to group up for 2.4? Or it's not group chat. It's just local chat, whatever. There's so many. We could be here forever. This is where the magic of video editing will help in the future. But right now, on the stream, it's not. This always happens with new content though, and I would have thought that by this time they would have maybe worked out some way of it's an enemy. Oh my god, I attacked an enemy. It's a miracle. You have to learn the pattern. You gotta be like, okay, that one spawned. Which one spawns next? This one over here? Or maybe even just like be really aggressive with layers here. Could be an idea. I'm just gonna join a raid, apparently. I'm just being added because the quest. This way at least, yeah, if I kill, anyone kills anything, it counts. But if this is what has to happen here, then fundamentally it's just a problem with the content, really. Are they supposed to be up here as well? I didn't even know that. I thought that quest thing was long. I guess people are just like spreading out now because they can afford to. Like spread out because, you know, you can just kill anything and it will count anywhere. I think within a certain distance. I think we worked out it's about like 90 meters or something like that. Okay, I didn't get to that one in time. That's a little disappointing. I was trying to work out how to, you know, get from A to B. Having a little mellow time though. You gotta be careful though. If I'm in the wrong like raid, yeah, I'm in group 2. Because I'm in group 2, I don't think I get kills from this group. So technically, I think I'm not necessarily at a disadvantage. I still have an advantage because I have one person who is in my like section or whatever. Oh, I guarantee there are people with enhanced, like the double XP things, with, yeah, double XP things, a like 200% experience thing with a bunch of quests that they have ready to give in. Like, imagine not having any quests on here, having like 55, 60 or whatever the max is of available quest slots, just full of missions, and then you just double them. And then whatever the current day's worth is for the rotation. Like, there is someone that's definitely done that. I mean, I'm kind of tempted to do missions with my like level 20s or whatever and sort of cheese it that way a little bit for some characters. Like Afka. Afka's probably going to end up doing that. Okay. And we can thankfully now leave because that is probably the worst part of an expansion. It won't be a problem in a week, right? It's just specifically
I have the fortitude to
now.
follow my father as the Lord of Lebanon, but I will do my duty.
I began by trying to stamp out the brigands whom my brother Lorvelgil sought to seize the city. I remember that quest vaguely, but there are many and well hidden. Some may be allies of the heirs of Castamere, and I have heard whispers of the new power rises in Umbar. I think they might seek to court it if they can. But my father is right. If we resist foes from Umbar, if we are to resist foes from Umbar, we must replace and repair our ships. He planned to show King how to work the work progresses, and should catch up with them in the dry docks in the southeast. But I've already been there. They can't have done much more work in the time. Actually, to be fair, we spent quite a considerable amount of time killing those brigands, so it's probably been in a couple in-game years at this point. Let's make our way. I can't actually remember what we get from this. Oh, it was the dagger. Does it look any good? Oh, it's kind of similar to Daylang. Actually, I quite like that. I will still have Daylang as my cosmetic, but I actually could see that being a very nice cosmetic for my burglar. I can definitely see myself putting that to use. I did say already, I think, that Umbar's like theme I very much like, and cosmetic wise, like armor wise, I think it's pretty damn good as well.
The work progresses, but it progresses slowly.
Fear not as quickly as does the situation in Umbar. Maybe we should go to Umbar and like stop it. Idea. Anyway, let's go pick up that one. Whether or not we use it, we have a level to decide also.
I sadly admit that staring at the ships under construction will not speed up the process.
I did not open a 140 Valar. I sat in Feyran's inventory doing nothing. So yeah, as it probably will be for a while. Oh, power pots. I haven't really had too much issue with power pots in life, but maybe now doing newer content, it might actually end up being a thing. I sadly admit that staring at the ships under construction will not speed up the process. Gondor now must depend on the skill of her craftsmen and the quality of their work, and her king must look to other matters. If the Kindred of the Coins turns its gaze upon our shores in the next few months, we'll need Gondor's fleets, buildings, and keys repaired. We'll also need to repair the bonds of a friendship between the Gondorian and her neighbors. Let's accept the invitation of the dwarves. We will visit them in the White Mountains and negotiate fair trade between their people and my kingdom. We need true-hearted allies in the days to come, and Gondor's stonework could use the attention of such of these dwarves. But what does my queen say to this proposal? Expect you to see the stuff. I mean, let's compare it to what I have. Obviously, delving stuff has a little bit more, like, variety, and essences also, I think. And also, like, different stat things, I guess, but... That's not a 140 Riffler. What is this? I'm still not used to, like, what I expect from gear. I actually am really curious on what the earrings boost up to at 141.
But I sadly admit that staring at the ships under construction will not speed up the process.
Okay, my husband speaks the truth. There we are.
If ties of friendship are neglected, they can slip loose entirely.
It sounds to my ears the affection between the people of Gondor and the dwarves of the White Mountain is already stained and threatens to become worse. The king should take a small party, with one of which he left Minas Tirith. You should go with him to Elad and Gimli. I suggest that he brings the company scribe at Kabar, should any records be drawn about the meeting between my husband and the ruler of Furuk-Zahar. Kabar will have the tools necessary. The rest of the company will stay for a few days in Pelargir, and we will rejoin your small band at Ost-Engelved and continue onwards. Yeah, I saw you saying about the pocket item. You know, you don't normally get one of those, so it's quite nice.
You will want me along on this mission, of course.
The dwarves of Furuk-Zahar are not Longbeards, but you cannot best a dwarf when it comes to speaking with other dwarves. They will want to hear what I have to say, even if they spare not a moment for the King of Gondor. It's true that you don't see Temamir in the north very often, but it did answer the call of the sick of the dwarves and orcs, and suffered losses as severe as any other house. The stronghold of Furuk-Zahar is hidden in a cleft of the White Mountains in the north of Pelargir. Let us be off and see if the hospitality of Temamir is to be as noteworthy as their wisdom. Okay, so where are we headed to then? All the way up there. That is a little bit of a trek. And to a location we actually haven't discovered yet. That's kind of to be expected. Curious. Is it better to be on this side? Yes, it looks like it is. Okay, let's make our way to the west side. And try and not die. You know. I haven't tried it yet. I was going to get it and then some things came up. So I didn't end up getting it because it's, I don't know, not the best time to. Plus, I haven't really had time to play anything. I actually have been kind of working extra to make sure that I was available for this expansion because I was really concerned. I said it before, like, so I was originally supposed to be away last week, but I said no because expansion released. Then the expansion got delayed by a week, so it's out today. And then I was really concerned that it was going to be delayed once again to next week because I'm not here next Wednesday. I'm away again. And I was very concerned that I was, you know, going to miss the release. So thankfully it is out here today. But I've been like working extra to make sure that I could get out a little earlier today. So that I could thankfully... experience, you know, the whole game. It's not where I want to go. I want to go around this. I didn't even know it was a like a game you could beat necessarily. I thought it was more like an endless thing, but it shows what I know. Oh, interesting though, and I guess I did see, but legendary runes have changed how they function. The different rarities now give additional levels for each tier of rarity. They no longer have different caps of eye level. So, does that mean on our completionists we can actually cap out? Because we don't need legendaries anymore. We just have to have more commons or more incomparables. That's actually interesting. I'd be very interested to have a look at and how that works. Also, we should totally pick up the Stable Master here before I forget. I'm just, while we're traveling, thought I'd have a look at the what am I trying to say? Release notes. Okay, we have a couple of quests.
Greetings, stranger.
Anything of interest?
Have you seen my friend?
Yeah, because it says here, yeah, there's no longer a different cap on the eye levels to increase your tracery slot. So within the current level band is ended up being wrong. It's increased the value of lower rarity runes considerably, so they now have consumer. So basically, they've increased the amount of ancient script it requires to get them, but the increase of how many levels higher rarity but increase in how many levels higher rarity runes provide to make your leveling your legendary traceries through adventuring a bit easier. Okay, so that makes... Yeah, so I think incomparables are like +3. And then I assume like +4 or maybe even potentially a +5 for like epics. Because that was one of the things I was like, oh, do I need to go farming? Like, I was going to go do a couple of bits of content to, like, farm out legendary ones again. I am still, like, a little bit annoyed about legendary... yeah, that's what I've been seeing as well on quests so far. I mean, I picked up one of those, I think. I don't think I've got any legendary on the top of my character, but... Yeah, I definitely think that's a good change. But yeah, I think now the main issue is just going to be getting ourselves legendary stuff. But that's a little bit of work we can do to boost up some stats, I think. Though I did boost up most of my main stats, like the heraldries and stuff, but at least I can do crit and extra ones, even though we're overcapped crit. But maybe I can switch out Nessus afterwards, so... Oh, interesting. Level 50 class armor sets are available from class trainers in the last time in the house are now bound to account rather than bound to equip. I think that is good. I definitely like myself. I definitely am happy having more stuff become bound to account. That's definitely always a good thing in my books. Yeah, 105 was obviously released over like 3-4 years. So there's a lot of content. Brugzar. The dwarves of Temamir stand guard at the entrance. Let's get the stable master, the most important person at any group or any area. And let us talk. Gimli is here.
Welcome to Brugzar, stronghold of the Temamir in the White Mountains.
Okay, all of you are welcome within, of course, but affairs of the state are such for the arrival of King Gondor demands a little extra preparation. I ask you either wait until I hear word from brethren inside that you may enter. I do not wish to inconvenience you, but also customary to bring a gift when you arrive here. Perhaps a meat from the game that is to be found in this valley. I do not wish to impose a burden upon you, but it will be a great shame if I were to allow you inside without such a gift, and you were thought to be discourteous. I cannot allow that to happen if it might be prevented.
We are here on a mission of friendship. We will do what custom and tradition demand.
Okay, let us find some of the wild game that can be found in this valley, and may the Temamir enjoy what bounty we can bring them. I trust the game animals in this vale are plentiful. Good. Okay, so 6 enemies. I think they're going to be a little bit better spread out compared to those brigands that we had to defeat. And maybe a few less people have gotten to this point yet. So that'll be a good thing to look at. Yeah, there's a lot more spread out. Just generally, I think we're a little bit better off there. One thing I do want to have a look at when we can find one, I know there's one in Pelargir, but I don't know if that's going to be the final one, is reputation vendors. I would be really curious if there's any other rep, and also what other travel skills we're looking at getting, because I like me some travel skills, and I'd like me some travel skills. Okay, some links, a bandit. I have noticed that nothing has portraits. I'm pretty sure that's not a thing I've disabled, so curious on what happens there. Right now, I'm only doing the book. That's my kind of priority for the minute. One thing that I am worried is going to happen doing the book is I'm going to get under-leveled, so hopefully that doesn't happen. And then if that does happen, we'll go and do some other content. But what I'll most likely do is do the book now and then go back and do sort of section by section. That's kind of what I did for Gundabad, is I did the epic and then I did each quest or zone by zone, completing everything. but that might have to change if, yeah, we get under-leveled. It depends on how many quests are in each chapter, I guess. Okay, hunted animals in the valley outside. Let's go back. Thankfully, it did not have to travel all that far out, and hopefully we can make our way back up. But yeah, I think I get easily distracted with not doing epic, so I will kind of not really follow as well as I could. So if I mostly prioritize the epic quest to start with, I'm sort of gonna at least understand it or like follow along a lot better, which is kind of a good thing in my opinion. And then, yeah, just do other content, especially with how the legendary items and stuff, the enhancement runes have changed. Sometimes I felt when I saw like uncommon enhancement runes, I was like, oh, what's the point? Whereas now, like, if I go in here, in theory, right, I can do this and I can go up to 123. I guess that actually makes sense. Like, there you go, and then that's maxed. That's actually really nice. Also, I feel like this menu is a lot more concise. Why does it feel more, like, condensed? I don't know. Oh, it's changed. It's fine. Anyway.
Yes,
it's a ghost. Look who it is.
Nicely. However,
it's good that you have done as my people expect, and our ruler Hamasir will be pleased to learn that King of Gondor does not think himself above such customs as we hold in Furuksahar. He permits himself a small smile and shakes his head regretfully. However, it pains me to tell you, you're not yet ready to allow the King of Gondor inside. You'll have to wait a little bit longer. Wait until you say, okay, am I just going to have to wait 30 seconds? Could you not just like slowly walk me through? Like, you know what? We'll get there. Just like, maybe we got to walk a little slower. Maybe. I think it's better. You're making a cake? Is it a Lord of the Rings theme cake? If it's not, I'm going to be incredibly upset. More upset than you can even imagine. What I might do is, I mean, my heraldry here is like quite low. So I might just chuck on. Also, it's quite nice because it means you don't have to worry about doing your low ones first necessarily. You can just do them in theory in any order. So there's a lot more, like, because before it was like, oh, if you're using your enhancement, your incomparables before your rares, you're doing it wrong, and that whole thing. Anyway, this is intolerable. How long do you intend to make us wait? You cannot come here to make us stand at the doorstep like common peddlers. Should any Temamir come to Thorin's Hall, would they be kept outside for the merest whim? I think it would not. I'm sorry, my friend, but this endless waiting is intended as an insult. You cannot see it. Did they not invite the King of Gondor to visit them? Or do they do so in order to slight you in this fashion? No Longbeard would stand for it, and I think the King of Gondor would have more demands upon his time that would allow him to waste such a time as this. Okay, and then we gotta wait again. Maybe that's why so many people are here. Because we're all waiting to be let in. And then an hour passes, and you're like, I'm just going to go do something else. You know? So far, I mean, we're about an hour and a bit in. So we haven't got quite into the full bit of content, but we're not in Umbar yet, which I think is the main thing. Is of course delighted to meet with the King of Gondor and his companions, and regrets only that the meeting has not happened before now. So more virtual experience, power pots, renewal things, rep,
you may enter,
and armor. Okay, so we get a piece of armor, boots. Again, I think for the minute, while it's uncommon gear, we're not really going to go for it. I think once we get to rares and potentially a rares plus an essence, then we might end up getting ourselves swapping. But let's have a look. It kind of follows the same style, right? Because we are building up the cosmetic, this cosmetic, the more Umbar sailor style cosmetic. So let's put that on. Oh, I should probably finish my quest.
You may enter. Amisar awaits you within.
$549. Oh yeah, I see. 160. Wait a minute, but it was only 150. People get really confused there. That obviously it's just to like cover their bases later, but yeah, people get really confused when they see a max level that isn't the max level. One day they should just add an item with max level 1000. I want to have a little bit of an explore. This area feels like it's very shadow intensive. I need those real-time ray tracing to happen right now.
What is it?
Okay, I'm not really worried about these. I am just curious on like rewards. That's kind of my main interest. Oh, it's the kitchens. Is that where Ghost is making his cake? Okay, let's make our way further. Yeah, I think with the elk, it's a little bit distracting. Maybe. Well, that's the thing, right? Yeah, the 140s go to 150. Everything else, like, before that has happened. That's what confused people, is being like, oh, it says 150, but I thought 140 was the cap. And that's, you know, people have been confused by that before. And it's like, nope, that's just you know, so your stuff isn't immediately, you know, ruined as soon as you swap to a new bit of content. Oh, this is really interesting. This reminds me, this is like a mashup of like Northern Mirkwood area. I can't think of the name of it. And, well, Dwarvish. I really like that area in Northern Mirkwood. I hate the area around it. The forest itself I hate, but the actual interior location is pretty nice. Anyway, Hamisar nods his head to Elazar in greeting. Hi.
Welcome, King Elisar, to the stronghold of Faruk Zahar.
How shameful that our folk have remained neighbors for so long without you coming to visit us here. I mourn that it took the fighting of the war to bring us together, but at least something did it. So he turns your attention to you. I have a greeting to the king, but of course his companions are welcome here as well. He and I have had a discussion concerning the ongoing relationships between our people and how the Temamir can best aid in the rebuilding of the kingdom. I would not think to bore you with such matters. I hope you will explore the beautiful corridors and meet with my folk. So the things I just did, you want me to do again? Sure. Let's go do that. So explore the armory, kitchens, rooms to the south of the throne room. And then talk to three NPCs that are presumably in those locations. So let's go to the armory. Maybe we can buy some new armor. Armory bustles with activity. The sound of dwarves working at the forges. Well, you could have helped me with this earlier, you know. If there's no skirmish camp in here, it's a lost opportunity.
It is good to see you again.
I don't remember this guy. When did I... Is this one of the guys? I think this is one of the guys we found like at the beginning, right? Like in the town. I don't know about cosmetics yet. The only thing we've got so far is this and the boots, which are here, which we haven't actually got yet. So cosmetic wise, I don't know, because we haven't got far enough to actually get to a vendor.
Good to see you again.
I'm gonna guess that's a guy that we saw earlier, like not that long ago in that other place I can't remember the name of. I hope so, otherwise I'll feel incredibly rude. And we got this dude. Curiously, you feel a strange sensation of dread as you approach the door. Well, that's fun. You have a vague sense of anxiety. That's like my life right there. I asked you to wander somewhere else. There's nothing for you here. I am really curious what's going on there. Yeah, I'm pretty sure all, like, for the expansion itself, like, obviously the previous ones were like that blue color, but the Gundabad and the presumably this one, which is the newest one, is the same. You check on your cake. Make sure it's turned into a waffle. Okay. Delicious aroma of cooked food fills the kitchens.
What has brought you to Farouk Zahar?
I hope you do not think to involve us in your
To
war.
involve us in your wars.
I've always welcomed visitors in the other dwarf families, but Hamisar shut the gates for a reason. He did not intend to invite Gondor's war to our footsteps. Well, thankfully, we won. So,
Might I be of service?
anyway, let's worry about all those quests later. I'm going to have to go find them at some point, but that is fine. I can survive. Let's head back to Mr. Aragorn. Mr. Man Aragorn. And hopefully, he has some good news for us. Fingers crossed. I'm really worried there's some, like, weird hypnosis-y thing going on. He's like, oh, just leave us to talk one-on-one. But I feel better. Like, you know, I feel like he's better than that.
Amisar and I have come to an arrangement. During the discussion, something revealed itself to me.
Okay. Hamisar spoke to me of a group arising in Umbar across the Bay of Belthus. He called themselves the Kindred of something. What was it? We already knew about the Kindred of the Coins, right? Or are we just saying it to make him talk?
They are called the Kindred of the Coins, Elisar, but feel no shame at forgetting it.
For a member of the company, some weeks ago, the proposal for me. Yeah, he's at the beginning of the chapter 2, we were talking about the Kindred of the Coins. Like, he reminded me of what they were called. So he definitely knows. So I don't know what his play is here. Or there's some weird continuity thing going on. But we definitely know about them. Because kind of dealt with slightly with some of them. Not directly, but anyway. We're not going to go with these boots just because, yes, more agility, but we lose crit and we lose crit and we lose crit. So let's leave that as is, but we are going to get it for the cosmetic look.
This messenger was named Koltek, and he belongs to the Kindred of the Coins.
He claimed that the Kindred of the Coins had overthrown the servants of Sauron who ruled in Umbar. Now they name it a free city and seek allies to defend themselves from those who preferred the old order of things, and from Gondor, it must be said. Okay, interesting. Do we have to be careful? It's proposed of peace and friendships. I do not wish to become involved in the affairs of Umbar, so while I did not immediately refuse, nor did I give him an enthusiastic agreement he desired, but you smiled quite a lot earlier. I'm confused. He sent him on his way and he's disappointed. He did not show it when he departed. It was a fortnight ago and he's likely back in Umbar by now. But we have spoken now for such a time that my throat is parched and my eyes weary. Accept a guest room and remain here for the night. There's no need for you to depart as speedily as did Koltek, after all. A room will be provided for you on the eastern side of the fortress. I trust your companions will take their rest in comfort. I am really concerned we're going to get kidnapped. I feel like we're going to go to sleep and we're going to end up in Umbar. That is actually a pretty beefy earring, honestly. I'm going to keep the leveling earring because I find it better, but that is a lot of vitality. If you wanted a lot of vitality, that's sure one way to go about it. Right, let's go find... Oh, I have to... He went go to sleep, and I just went, you know what, let's go to sleep. Not, hey, maybe we should talk to Aragorn a little bit right now. Hi.
I will accept your gracious offer of hospitality, Amisar.
Gondor does not wish for war, and if Umbar does not offer violence, we have no need to respond and such. Come, my friends, we will retire to our guest rooms and leave Hasmir to think upon the matters we discussed. No doubt he values the friendship of Gondor and understands the importance of such relationship for Farouk Zahar and for his people. There has got to be some twist of like why we can't hear, or why we aren't told what they talk about. I feel like there's got to be some like thing, because if you were just stood there and it was like, the Kindred, like, I basically said everything he just said to us, I mean, like, the Kindred of the Coins, that's the thing that, you know, this guy came a fortnight ago and blah, blah, blah. I don't think it would matter too much, but there's something that we're being, like, we're not hearing, I feel like. That's the way it feels to me so far. Maybe I'm wrong. Where's my bed? Okay. Provide comfortable rooms for everybody. Maybe it's like another murder mystery thing. See, Gimli agrees with me. I do not know about why he seeks to deceive us, but I can see it plainly as you see the pit on my handsome face. Okay. It's good to feel good about yourself. I knew there was something afoot when he made us wait so long at the doorstep. I think that someone from the Kindred of the Coins was here, and they had to get out. We have discovered what kind of villainy, perhaps villainy nonetheless. Do you think it has something to do with the unpleasant sensation of dread we felt by that door? Yeah, maybe they're in there. That's not that far away. And like, didn't take us long to get that meat, so I don't know.
Do you really think Hamissar is lying to the king?
Yes,
How
100%.
could he risk such a dangerous deception?
Totally. Maybe he's the one that's like hypnotized. You never know. Anyway, I don't think he's live with the Kindred of the Coins, do you? I'm Scribe Tavella. I'm not accomplished with that, but I'm not an adventurer hero like you. I left my home in Ethering a few months before the outbreak of the war. Ever since I came to Minas Tirith in the service of the city, I've been embroiled in great events I find myself unable to comprehend. It's all very overwhelming to me what it is Hasmir keeping from the king. I'm not gonna lie. It might be cliche. I feel like he's not going to survive. Like, you can't kill off Gimli, you can't kill off Aragorn. But this guy... Lindua, thank you for the resub. Very much appreciated. And, yeah, I just... Again, it might be a cliche, but I feel like he's not going to live very long. And I feel bad for saying it. It's also kind of a generic design. Anyway, I hope not. I like him so far from my vague experience with him. Yeah, he's hiding something. I think he would have preferred not to speak of King of the Coins, and had we left him the choice, he would not have spoken about them at all. I believe this Koltek came to Fodok unless that in the meeting was of Hasmir presented it. We should remain on our guard while we hear something about this situation does not feel right. You know what does feel right? It's bed. I want this bed. It's very spiky though. I do not want this bed. I want this one. I assume this is for the king. It's fancy. Anything of interest? We know how dwarves are with their like hidden doors. That's how it was last time, right? There was the whole what was it in the Iron Hills? The, you know, Black Book of Mordor stuff. Anyway, let's be sneaky. We're not quite the burglar of the situation, but we can be a little bit sneaky, I hope, and get through. I do just want to lock some of these things, sell a little bit of that. To be fair, half a gold for that is not terrible, not gonna lie. And I'm really curious if we can do, like, getting to 150 and getting new armor. I'm really curious to see how well we do at something like an older bit of content that we can, like, seeing at what point we can now solo stuff. Like, Throne is one that I'm close to being able to solo. Not, like, all of it, but, like, the first boss, for example. We've been able to kill it before. I'm curious if getting to 150 and getting new gear would allow us to do a little bit more. That is a very fancy sword, and I would like it, please. Thank you. As you approach the suspicious door, a nearby dwarf seems to attract your attention. What up? You're a companion of the King of Gondor. Have we met? My memory of your face is not what it once was, and far from my home. I'm here visiting, and I believe I have information you should know. Quietly, we should not speak here. Let's hurry inside the armory across the water to the northeast. There'll be fewer unfriendly ears to hear what I have to say, and the noise of the forge should help hide our conversation. So he is Gangur Farwend. Okay. And we need to go talk to him in the armory, which is right ahead of us. That was after the squish. I both before and after, so I have done like bits of that. To be fair, I actually think it was with Runekeeper, because Runekeeper is like a little bit more viable. Not viable, but like you can heal yourself a little bit better. You have self-motivation, like you can purge poison a little bit better. Runestones, like that was really where I was able to do it properly.
Temamir showed me a great deal of hospitality.
Giving his personal welcome, I was impressed. For a while, I've been warmly greeted by every dwarf hold I visited on my travels. Fudugzahar outshone them all, but then it all changed. A few days ago, an emissary of the Kingdom of the Coins arrived, so not 2 weeks ago. His name, you know, Phasmir told you about it, is, but he withheld his epithets and the folk of which you belong. His name is Kolaketh the Cunning, and he's a dwarf of the Temamir who hails from some distant land. So I have seen some art of the Kindred of the Coins, and I have seen this dwarf, I'm pretty sure. But yeah. And yeah, it's not from Umbar he came, at least not directly. He came from the west. From conversation I heard, I understood that he received delivery of some artifacts from the north, and he brought it with him to Fuluk-Sahar. Told you his emissary of the Kindred had departed, but I think he's still here. Is the dread of the artifacts he bears that you sensed outside the door where he shelters? Knew it. Totally. I called it. I have not read ahead. I do not know why Temamir became so cold to me after he arrived, or why their leader lies in the kings of Gondor. I thought you should know. I will speak to the King Elisar briefly, but it can be arranged in secret. But I think I should leave this place before it is too late. Fuluk-Sahar may not be safe to you. Okay. Kind of as we expected, you know. Some sort of, you know, item that causes dread, you know. Another Palantir, maybe? Does that work at this point? And, you know, something causing dread, something causing him to change his attitude, whether or not it be voluntarily or not. So that'll be interesting to see where that goes to.
Gangur Farwend was just here.
He told me
what he said to
okay,
you.
yeah. I asked him to describe Koltank, and he did the best he could. He did say his memory for face is not what it used to be. Said that to us as well. Kebas sketched a drawing from the description. Okay, is that why you're here? He's handed you a parchment on which Kebas has sketched a portrait. It's going to be the most perfect looking thing. Yeah, I told you. I'm not going to lie. You're good at your job, and he's got a very good... I like his aesthetic. If I had a dwarf, I want him to look like that.
My hand shook as I drew the sketch. I may not be cut out for such an adventure as this.
I hope you and the king will find the drawings useful. Will you know Koltank the Cunning if you see him? I think he's quite out there. And from a meta perspective, you know, he's going to have a very different design. So I think we're fine. Also, from a game perspective, he's going to have his name above him, isn't he? So, pretty easy. Anyway, if you're not, the fault lies with me. I apologize to the king, for I am only an amateur artist. Don't say that to me. That hurts me. That's amateur. But he would not hear it. He is too good for such as I am. He is too good for such. Yeah, okay.
We have no choice now, my friends. We should get as much rest as we are able.
Okay. Whatever Hamisar thinks to keep from us, whether it be continued presence of Koltek the Uncunning and Fuluk-Sahar, or some other deception, we cannot reveal it if he chooses to keep it hidden. We'll depart in the morning, rest for now, but lightly. We should probably alternate sleep, but it looks like we're just here now, so that's fine. Okay, I'm calling it now door. Just saying. I mean, it's not. It might be. Doesn't look like it on the map, but that looks like a door. Like, there's a seam there. That could be a door. We've seen weirder.
It is time for us to take our leave, Hamisar of Fuluk-Sahar. We thank you for your gracious hospitality.
And for your continued friendship. The effort of your folk on behalf of mine in days to come will not be forgotten. So, more virtue experience. They're really piling on the virtue experience, but shields, which I don't particularly need, but I'm curious to see a Warden shield and compare it to sort of where Feyrand is now, just to see what like a 140 shield looks like. Yeah, everything's coming out. Everything's here. But thankfully for me, at least, I only have to worry about one. So. And have this to say as well, as you return to your kingdom and continue the journey on which you spoke yesterday. Yes, there is. Let caution guide your steps. There are snakes in the grass everywhere, so stay on the pathways. Indeed, even some dwarves may hold treachery in their heart and give voice to things they ought not. I had to send one such troublemaker from Fuluk-Sahar this very morning. The long-beard Gangur Farwend is no longer welcome within these walls, but is different for you and your companions. You, of course, are welcome to return at any time should you wish to discuss the continued relationship of our folk. But remember what I said, beware of the snakes in the grass, for they are more likely to strike when you expect it not. Okay, well, he was trying to leave anyway. I don't fully believe he made it out alive. Just saying.
Fear not, Hamissar. I will remember your words.
Gives you a knowing look. Come on now, my friends. We shall rejoin the rest of our traveling party at the Hall of Ost-Angelbed in the southwest. I really want to see in this doorway. I mean, we'll probably end up making our way there somehow. But I really, really am curious. Anyway, bit of a trek. Hopefully we can swift travel from here to Ost-Angelbed. Whether or not we have Ost-Angelbed as a swift travel, I think we do, because we had the whole, like, one of the things I actually really enjoyed about the chapter 1 is, like, the choice thing. I like when it gives you a choice and actually kind of changes things, because sometimes it feels like just A to B to C to D. But being able to choose, like, oh, I want to hand out these flyers, or I'm just going to burn them and say I did it. You know,
what might I do?
Or like you can choose the really good weapons and then, or not, and you can choose the bad weapons. And I really do hope that like those choices affect the outcome of stuff later. Like if you gave out the flyers, maybe they have more people, or if you gave out the, you know, gave them the good weapons, they are stronger and like win a fight compared to losing a fight or something. I think that'd be really interesting. Anyway, Ost-Angelbed, let's go. And yeah, let's see if that does actually change anything. I think I gave out like one flyer potentially. Or I might have just like burnt them straight away. And I gave them the bad weapons. And there was something else I gave them that was like the bad choice basically. It's like, oh, well, sorry. This is like the best I can do. My bad. Crazy though, we're like 2 hours in and we're still on chapter 2, admittedly like 8 things in, but there is a lot of content. And I mean it is an expansion, right? So it's not like it's gonna be like that and done, but yeah.
It's terrible, just terrible.
No.
Queen Arwen is nowhere to be found.
Okay, are we looking for Arwen? Are we looking for one of her disguises? Okay, I'm gonna get the Warden Shield because again I'd like to compare it to like what we have on Faerand.
I beg you. Ask around Ost-Angelbed and find the queen.
Okay, the king will never forgive us if we allow some harm to befall her. I am very curious on my keen cutlass. Ooh. Now, Daelang is my favorite cosmetic sword. A one-handed sword, obviously. Two-handed, there are different choices. But it's getting close. I think if that blade were a little bit more shiny and it was a little, like... not even necessarily fancier, but like it's kind of a bit of a dull silver. Anyway, that is for our cosmetic, like our this cosmetic build, whatever. Definitely gonna be using 2 of those, I think, because it definitely fits the look. Also, super good marionette look, I think. Okay, I am going to make a prediction. I am gonna make a prediction looking from the map. And purely from the map. She is there. How well... this could either go really well or really badly. But how well do I know some of this stuff in the game? I will pick this one. I just want to see if there's any interesting dialogue. But, perhaps we should search for the lower levels of the city. No. I'm going to go over here with the River Maiden, most likely. Is that going to be the case? Am I going to die to fall damage? Fingers crossed not. Please. Ideally. Oh, that was a hefty amount of pop in there. Oh, that's how you die to fall damage. By well, if I die because I clipped into a rock, I'm not going to be happy. Saying it now. Very disappointed. I need to find that bingo thing. There's a whole, yeah, the bingo for Corsairs of Umbar. There was one of them was random rockin' Brie again, which is what I thought about for a second. What was it? I thought there was one like getting stuck in a thing, but maybe not. Okay. Maybe I'm super wrong. But I feel like this is... Okay. Yeah, okay. Maybe I just skipped a load of, like, funny, witty dialogue. And I'm sorry to people who wrote that dialogue, but... Maybe don't have that be, like, such an outlier, you know? One day I want to actually play... One day I actually want to play an entire character without a map. Without a, like, this map, mini-map, and this. And do, like, see how well I either remember the content or just seeing how well I can interpret the content. A lot of it will be just like, oh, I remember doing this, this, and this. But I think it may be interesting to do at some point.
But I hope you will heed my words, Maiden of the Gilride, and trouble yourself not overmuch.
A life is lived as is lived, and we grieve for all that has transpired, or for all that will, we cannot bear the sorrow. Let it not weigh too heavily upon you, dear one. I hope I did not wear the company too greatly. I did not want to burden roaming star with the tramping feet of my husband's entire retinue. There were things to be said in private, and I felt certain I could return from before Aerith finished her chattering. I saw her from afar, and it seemed to be only recently begun. Even such a distance, I believe she might become rather enamored of the groom whom keeps the horses. Okay, interesting.
Arwen has shown me the kindness of the sort I have thought vanished from the world.
I do not know what to say. See, the thing is with no UI, it's difficult because then you can't accept quests. That's the only thing. But if there's a way you could like maybe lower, like get rid of the stuff or like turn it off, fair enough. I think you can turn off the minimap, but like, yeah, you can't like have no UI because then you can't accept anything. That's the only problem. If I wore my Ranger garb, I could have approached without making a noise, but these garments are much less suited for walking in the wilderness. I hope I did not frighten Romistar with my tramping. Arwen has spoken to me of her desire to meet the Maiden of the Gilrain, and I do not wish to interrupt. But I have need of you, friend. Wow, that was actually a relatively easy and quick quest compared to the previous ones. I wonder if that's the end of this this bit. Yeah, okay, I didn't even look at stats, but having a look at it, that's not terrible. Obviously, we're still lower physical mastery, but we're getting blocked this time. I don't know if we compare that to the dagger. Oh, are they literally the same stats? Which is funny because I like talked about this being bad and then talked about this being good. It works. I mean, that way you have an offhand that better suits your character no matter what. So, also, again, cosmetically, quite fancy. Oh, okay. K-Bar. I have sent the rest of the traveling party onto Lynn here with instructions to aid the people there. Your report that some porters of the Arzocast may maintain a presence in the city is worrisome to me. Perhaps if we can give the townsfolk what help they need, it will reduce the support for any of that sort who remain. Took K-Bar to make a list of notable tasks, meet up with him in Lynn here, and learn the content of his catalogue of things that needs doing. Afterwards, here's to guide the company through Dorn Ernil and into the Ringlow Vale. Arwen and I will meet up with you there, or in Lamadon if we meet with delays. So we get a 141 enhancement rune. Curious, okay. And we're about halfway through our level at the moment. So if we were to add on chapter 1, I do think we would have leveled up by now. I can't remember exactly how many chapters were in that, or how many, you know, quests specifically were in chapter 1, but, you know, I think there's a little bit more fighting the enemies going on with that as well. But one thing I do want to do is just bring up our cosmetic like I was talking, and I'm just gonna overwrite. My level is too low. I can't even equip. Wait, can I? So, I might be, maybe because I'm in combat. Okay, I just can't equip it because I'm not level 141. Like, cosmetically, I can't equip it. That kind of sucks. I feel like you've been able to do that before. But maybe I'm wrong. Okay, we are now moving into new territory. Pretty sure this part of Lynn here was previously blocked off. So, all new area. ready to explore. But yeah, not much use for this until we, well, reforge anyway. I don't know if it's worth me reforging, like... So basically, what I'm trying to think of is these are minimum level 121, but I'm really curious, like... Okay, so it's still, like, I knew this would happen, but I can't use 121s on there. But I can use 131s. That is fine. Okay. That makes sense. Basically, I don't know if I should just chuck. I have 101, 131. So technically I have 202 levels I can dish out. And I'm only needing like 10 on each one. So basically, my thought is, do I just like chuck a bunch of levels on these and then have to use less of the higher level ones or like the new ones, basically. We might spend a little bit of time doing that just before the reforge. Because... otherwise, I have to, like, catch up, basically. I think all of these are 150 max, so I technically don't need any upgrades, and then I will just go do missions or whatever and get some other stuff. No, I didn't really read it, except for when we were traveling between a few places.
For I am at the end of my wits.
The king instructed me to make a list of things we might do to aid the people of Lynn here, but everyone I asked has a different idea where to start. Some are concerned about foes that still stalk Dora and Elnil to the west of the rivers. Others claim the pests that inhabit the town have gotten out of control in recent weeks. Others say the burn timbers that remain in Lynn here pose a threat to the health of the citizenry. And, well, some of them, I think the folk just want to talk. I don't know which of these things is most important, but the king says they were to be comprehensive on his behalf. I will see to the burnt timbers, but perhaps you can tackle the other items. So basically, you want the easy things. I see how it is. Okay, I'm just going to hear what people say. He's concerned about the increase in pests. Yeah, that's the thing, though, but it's only plus levels. So I feel like I may as well get as high levels as I can, like to 495 or whatever, and then upgrade them, sort of thing. Or is it just because of the enhancement limit? Like, can I use older ones on higher ones? I guess I can. Or some of her neighbors have disappeared. I mean, worst case, we're just a little bit under. For a little bit, it's fine. It's not like we're struggling for stuff. I think it's definitely a nice legendary change. Forshan is not really worried about anything. He's just a little bit lonely. I feel bad for him. I kind of want to talk with him more. Okay, pest and linear. We know in the abandoned home there was stuff, but I don't think we're allowed in there. So let's see. Okay, I'm curious. What is this quest here? We did just quickly run past.
Gondor needs your aid.
Okay, just power pots and stuff. I think we've got another... Hey, we need to... you know, maybe get in a group with a couple of people type thing going on. Little bit concerned. I think we're fine. Oh, I'm in a different layer, am I? I expected that to be reduced awareness. I should probably move this up here. I know, like, where I am in terms of stuff, but... What, Carrot, like Doom? Carrot Skeleton? I'm assuming. I don't think you necessarily need to do that instance itself. Because, like, as long as the payout's still the same, technically, like, because, like, yeah, if you do a +3, that's fine. But if it's more than 3 times, like, longer to get an item, like, So if it takes 3 times as long to get a incomparable enhanced runes as it does to get 3 like uncommons, I don't think it necessarily matters. Like if you can more easily obtain like, you know, 90 uncommon enhancement runes than it is to get 30 incomparables. I don't think it necessarily matters which one you do. Because I'm pretty sure, like, if I go and do, and admittedly, yes, it is a 3-man, but if I do school, I'm pretty sure you can get like 3. Or at least 2. Also, I'm really struggling right now. Oh, right, yeah. Traceries, yeah, fair enough. I'm normally more of a one to just do missions for it and then kind of hope for the luck. Like, I don't really particularly care much about getting legendary ones, except from crafted ones. And I'm curious to see if there's going to be a better version of this. If there's going to be like an upgraded, or if it's just going to still be that this goes up to 150 and therefore it's still like best in slot, or if there's going to be an actual like 140 to 160 version of that. You know, these pests are starting to be a bit of a pain. Well, this lack of pests, actually. I've never wanted pests, really, but... Okay, I don't know why they were running from that enemy. See, I actually... One thing that I don't think they are going to do, but I think it would have been interesting, is the idea of, like, leveling up... like rarities of traceries somehow, but that might make things too easy. Like maybe even just for ancient script, like there was a way you could upgrade. Maybe, I don't know. I see a red dot. I need to go to it. No, it's dead. If only I'd waited a day. Wait, there's an enemy. Quick, get it before anybody else can. Use my blue line spec stuff. Actually might be a better idea, honestly, just so I can run and gun a little bit. Anything around? No. That is all outside the zone, and I do not think it will count, regrettably so. Yeah. I mean, that would have made sense. I mean, if I went on any other character I haven't done... I think there's only 2 characters I've done book 1 on. But I don't want to do like what I did with Gundabad. With Gundabad, I hadn't done the Blood of Azog, and I spent the first like stream, like first half of the first stream, just doing Blood of Azog, because I hadn't done that content yet, because I kind of didn't realize it existed. I thought it wasn't story content. I thought it was just bonus stuff. It kind of was, but it fit. And I don't want to necessarily have that happen here, where I'm like retreading technically old content. Alright, we're halfway. Oh, I see a red dot though. It's not necessarily seeing the red dot that's the problem. It's getting to it in time. Also, there's a quest ring up here. I feel like I'm attacking or dealing more damage than other people seemingly are, but maybe I'm just having an ego about myself today. I mean, there is a lot of content. I mean, even just like the amount of quests I've walked by is pretty substantial. And I've only done one bit of side content. I've only got distracted once so far. Honestly, if you're doing all the side content, and like, I think it's a very high chance you'll get to 141 before already, if you're doing all the side stuff at the moment. Oh no, I could've... Yeah, I get that. I am using delving stuff. But even then, I'm using old delving stuff, 471. I'm pretty sure it's like 477 or something like that now. Not that like it's that much different. Like at the end of the day, I'm still capped on I'm not capped on crit, but I'm like damn close. And I am capped on range and stuff, so. There we go. And I've got to go all the way back to him. That's fine. Yeah, I don't know why portraits aren't doing a thing. Oh, is it because I had to refresh my UI? That could be why. That could potentially be it. That makes sense. Rightio.
You took care of everything on the list?
Yes, I did.
You're good at this, aren't you?
The king asked me to direct everyone through Dorn Ernil and into the Ringlow Vale, where he and the Queen Arwen will rejoin us. I do not know why he chose me for this task. Do you think he knows that I was born in Ethring? I might have mentioned it once when he was nearby, but surely he would not remember a thing like that. The Grand Lighthouse in Barad is on our way. I would not mind stopping to see it before we continue on to Ethring. I visited it when I was just a boy and found it most impressive. I heard a disturbing rumor that the lighthouse sustained some damage during the war, but perhaps the talk was exaggerated. I hope so, at any rate. Travel to Barad, the Grand Lighthouse in Dor and Ernil in King's Gondor. That is down here. We know that that has taken a little bit of a beating. Yeah, I'm only, I've a little over halfway to 141, and I have double XP, so. Yeah. I don't think really getting to 141 is, like, too much of an issue right now. Like, or not being at 141. I think later on we might feel it. So what we might do is like today sort of focus on the story for like, what are we gonna do? Like another like 2 hours or so. Focus on that, and then maybe tomorrow instead we'll do some like other content, some like side stuff. Just like boost up a couple levels and then build on that. Because again, what I want to do ideally is it's going to be a little bit of a shorter stream tomorrow, because I am in tomorrow morning working, so I do need to actually get some sort of sleep. But also I do want to be up a little bit later and try and edit down a little bit of the stream into something. Oh, I'm actually really curious on what the new shards are going to be. I wonder how that works. Anyway, but yeah, I want to try and like edit something down, get something out at least as a day one type thing, or technically day two, and that'll be interesting. Try and like keep a bit more on track like I didn't quite do with Gundabad. I was a little bit late with that. Okay, so this is our little encampment. Let's have a little look, shall we? So some Athelas essence. Should we do a couple of things around here? Maybe we'll get distracted a little bit.
How may I help you, friend?
I'm gonna try. I'm just gonna see roughly what experience is like for a minute. So let's grab the scattered lumber and defeat 10 Craven or Ravens. Let's also see what this person over here wants.
I welcome your aid.
And just see if it's in our best interest. I think it ultimately is, but like I said before, it's not because I don't appreciate how good it is to do content, like side content. It's that I know I get very distracted, and I did it in Gundabad, and I think it was kind of slightly problematic in some places. Place the lumber in the proper places. But also, if I've got like a super easy quest like this, like literally gather some wood, go put it somewhere, and if this is the end of that quest, I see no reason not to just like get a quick 500,000 experience. It's not quite as much as the epics, right? The epics are what, 800,000 or something along those lines? I actually don't know. It's been a while since we've completed some side stuff. 886, yeah. However, like I've always said, if you're going to want to level up quickly, epic is actually not the way you want to do it a lot of the time, is because you're only doing one quest at a time, whereas when you're doing all the side stuff, they kind of intertwine with each other in some cases, and you're doing like 3 or 4 at the same time, and then that way, you know, you're getting just more experience. You're getting less experience per quest, but you're getting more quests done, therefore more experience overall. This is interesting, just watching them fish. Why not? I actually, not quite that, but I have actually tried mapping out, because we've talked in the past about doing like pacifist runs and stuff, about like mapping out what quests you can do that don't require like killing. Like this driftwood one, for example, doesn't require me to kill stuff. Obviously, this is like very late game. Do I want to get the campsite? Probably not. But there's a few other things like that where it's like you couldn't really do the epic. Epic is nigh impossible. But it's literally impossible. But there's a couple things more like fetch quests. I mean, there's a couple missions even. But the thing with missions is you've got to get to level 20 in the first place. Don't aggro me. It's like, it reminds me, there's this, what was this thing? There was, there's this thing I was told about, I think it's for EverQuest. It's like this, leveling guide sort of thing, like the most efficient, like basically the, like that doing like a +7, sort of thing. For EverQuest. More driftwood. I really don't know why my headphones are so uncomfortable today. Something about it. Like normally I can wear my headphones. I probably wear these headphones like 24/7 most times. I don't, obviously, but I could, and I feel like I'd be fine. Today though, incredibly uncomfortable. I mean, yeah, there's like a, especially for Iron Man, there's a guide and stuff. But I know there's one for EverQuest. To be fair, it might be in my favorites because I favorited a load of things at some point. Was it that one? I think it might be it. Oh, maybe it wasn't quite that, but I do have a thing called, it's called the Golden Path. The Golden Path is the name of a developer project designed to smooth out progression so that there are fewer level stallings and more clues on where to go. I mean, technically that would just be epic, but the thing is, if you do the epic, I've been meaning to try this on a character, but like, if you purely do the epic, I think you stall it a couple of places. Like, there are places where you physically cannot continue, which is a slight issue. Also, I can't find any Krabens. We'll worry about that later. Came upstairs at the ruins of Umbar Release. We could have just told him, you know?
It is much worse than I expected.
What manner of devilry did the Corsairs of Umbar harness to knock down such a structure, a grand lighthouse? But more than that, how could they bring themselves to do it? I did not bring my branch of my artwork with me when I left for Minas Tirith to join its service of the city as a scribe, but I did bring one piece, a sketch I made of this lighthouse when I was just a boy. Here you can see it, if you like. Again, someone wanted to flex their creative muscles, and I feel flexed on.
The sketch is painful now, but I will keep it close.
As a reminder of what the enemies of Gondor will not hesitate to take from us. Let's my spirit see such a construction effort. There is actually construction. I didn't even look at it, I'm not gonna lie. But I wish it was not necessary. As we make our way north through Doran and El to my hometown of Ethering, let us face whatever foes we encounter with courage and strength for the King of Gondor. Defeat enemies. 10 of them. So, I'm hoping, in an ideal world, that if I kill a Kraben, it counts for both quests. Because that is what we call efficiency. However, first thing we gotta do is actually find a Kraben or a Raven. Because I ain't found any yet. There's some Wraiths. Didn't expect some, like, Dark Waters around. Though I guess there were corpses here last time we were here, so... I do also need to remember I have a skill that literally lets me find specific enemies. So... there aren't any. I did have a time, though, where I went through a load of, like, old school RuneScape content. And, yeah, I just kind of fallen off it a little bit. Like, not really been paying too much attention. But, I don't know, maybe I'll get back to it at some point. I've actually not really been, like, overall watching much content in general recently. So, I mean, that does factor into the whole point, but... I'm really curious where these Cravens are supposed to be. Apparently anywhere and everywhere. But I think it's more they can be anywhere, not necessarily they are everywhere. So I'm hoping once we get up to this point, maybe it'll more correct. Oh, I saw you Kraben. I'm really curious actually. Taylor, I'm not maxed on Taylor, that's annoying. I probably should have. Fayrand is, so I could have a look later. I'm just really curious on what levels of crafting materials there are. Oh, I got an adventurous steelbound loot box. How fancy. Trail food, though, I am curious on stats. I mean, that is a decent chunk of agility, right? 1,257? It's like another piece of armor, essentially. Oh, yeah, there's some, like... when I did go back to playing old school RuneScape, thankfully not recently, because I get way too obsessed with it. But, yeah, trying to... like, work out how to get from here to there to here, you know, is awkward. At least with Lotro, I can just stable master places. Not quite with old school. So we are actually starting to get Umbari hide, which is going to hopefully become useful. I do not know what recipes there are. I could look, I guess, at item treasury, correct? Item treasury should have should be able to detect for me new stuff. But at the same time, I'm gonna guess this is all like gear we get from questing or whatever. Maybe not. Wave Walker shoes. Oh, that's a Mariner set armor. That's fair enough. 150 armor. Maybe this looks like crafted stuff to me. Bound to account on acquire as well. So maybe that's actually either they're doing bound to account crafted armor, which would be very interesting to see, or that's just armor you get from quests still, and it's just bound to account. But that is interesting. Like, if you compare that to my Delver stuff, double the vitality, like 4 times the agility, well, not 4 times, like 3 times. Pretty decent physical mastery boost and a crit boost. However, we do still have to take into account the essence loss, but still, like, that is good. And we also have to remember, right, that the delving stuff. You message you saying? What up? Oh, you leveled up, I'm guessing. I'm guessing if I look at delving stuff. Yeah, press Keen Delver's Mask. Like, because I'm pretty sure scaled stuff always shows the highest level. Or sometimes the lowest level. How is that level 50 Delver's stuff? Or is it just some weird thing? I mean, that looks to be... That still looks to be like a level 140 version. But it's just the more higher level one. Maybe there aren't... Maybe there's... I don't know. Maybe some weird thing where it's not, like, shown up yet. Or maybe I didn't move forward enough in my scanner. Let's just scan everything. Yeah, because this looks like, yeah, primary essence, vital essence, basic essence. Okay, that's an interesting thing, essence-wise. I'll be curious to look at crafted stuff. Maybe we'll jump on Faerand at some point, and I want that. That'd be cool. Yeah, maybe we'll have a jump on Faerand at some point and just have a look because of him being a max crafter. Right, though, let's give in my my thing there. Another 500,000. Nice. And I'm not going to worry about Cravens for the moment. I think I'd rather just focus on the travel aspect and go up to Ethering. I actually really enjoy these maps, but it is really weird. Like, I know before it was green, but if you look at, like, I go find Dorn Ernil, I guess it was green. I think it's just like... I think it's like the beaches. The beaches are a bit greener. I think I like this map more, ultimately. I'm not gonna lie. Spider of the Woods. How very creative of a name. Maybe we'll see. Maybe that guy is still in his tower. I don't think he died. He, like, defeated a troll or something last time we saw him, right? I feel like we're going to be stuck doing a lot of travel today. That feels like the main thing going on. Okay. Nearly there. Is Aragorn gonna be here? Because there was this whole thing of being like, oh, maybe he's not here because of delays, and then we got to find him.
So, you're back, Kaibar. Now that Ethring doesn't need
Oh,
you.
Kaibar.
Your
Wait.
mother will weep to hear it.
Kaiba? Who's this stranger? Are you an elf or am I a goblin? Wait, what?
Kaibar left us to make his own way in the world.
God, how dare he? He could have returned when war seemed unavoidable, but instead he left his mother to fend for herself. Poor Cyrus is unfortunate that her brother was here to take care of her, and the rest of the town did what he could. Where was Kaibar when the skies turned dark and the sun never rose? I helped you. I'm just going to point this out. Unless I didn't in this character, and that's why she's like, oh, I don't know you. But I'm pretty sure I did this content. He spared not a thought for Ethering, and now things are good. He wants to return. Let him try. That's what I say. We have not forgotten. So we do get, you know, some of these things. Again, I think delving stuff is not really worth swapping out of just because of the essences right now. So we're going to not really worry, but again, cosmetically, makes sense. Kaiba.
It is true.
I'm going to call you
that I left
Seto
home
soon.
Before war seemed certain, but
how could I have known how bad things would get? I'm worried at home every day. I should have come back before now. My family and my friends have endured the darkness Sauron sent before his armies, just as I did, but they had to do it without the armies of Minas Tirith near at hand. I understand why Uelin is upset. I should go see my mother. Our house, her house, is to the north, across the bridge and to the right. Again, I don't know if on this character I have gone through like that full epic. I'm pretty sure I have. Because it could be one of those things where like if you skipped it, it doesn't actually, they don't know you. But then like if you have done it, they are aware of your, you know, whatever.
My friend, I have not set eyes.
See, they've seen me at Minas Tirith. So I'm curious if there's anybody else that knows us. Yeah, see? They know me.
Since the war ended,
Okay, let's I want to see the guy in here. I know I said I was going to get distracted, but I'm going to get distracted. I want to go talk to the guy that's in the hall because, like, you know, that was a big thing. He was sad and we helped him, or tried to help him. Where is he? Is he in here? Oh, wait, no, he's further. Okay, never mind. Let's go have a little peek. Glad I'm not the only one that walks up hills like this, but okay. Let's rush over there. There's a problem with the lumber mill. I know we helped out killing some orcs up here last time. I don't know past that what's gone on.
Gondor needs your aid.
What a generic voice line. Oh, that kind of took me out of it for a second. Okay, why the lumber has not been leaving the camp is simply because it's not profitable enough for me to send any. The longer I withhold the product for the forest, the more the price of it will increase. Only when it's guaranteed to make me wealthier than the Lord of Vale himself, I will begin to sell. What gives me the right? My family holds a claim to the land per an agreement with the Lords of the Vale from generations ago. Derovin is welcome to revoke it without cause, but he'll lose face. Go tell him I'll operate my lumber camp as I see fit. Interesting. What if I just stole from you? I'm pretty sure I have, like, just immunity to crimes at this point. You know? Like, I've done some bad things. I've, like, accused people of crimes they didn't do. I've just, like, killed guards that technically, in the eyes of the place, you know, places that I'm, like, just total murder, even though they were the bad guy, because I've had, like, no evidence except I knew. So, I don't know. Do I have just, like, immunity to the law? I'm, like, friends with the king. You know, you can just, like, pardon me, essentially.
He claims to own the land itself per an agreement with my forebears. I
find it suspicious. Very suspicious. Okay. I actually do want to have a look at some of this stuff. Also, really interesting thing. Not necessarily super interesting, but worth looking into is that each of these areas have their own quest line deed. So that's quite fun. We can have a little... we have, like, something that we can focus on a little bit there. That's why you're in here. Contains records of many transactions, none of to do with land or property. Personal journal on Devorin's ancestors. I mean, yeah, we've also got a wizard friend. Multiple at this point. I'm sure if we asked Saruman to be his our friend, maybe he'd say yes. I don't know. Okay, it seems Devorin must find a new course of action if we wish to lodge Devorin. Okay, cool.
Are you sure? Are you absolutely, completely, and irreproachably sure?
Yes. Of course, I do not mean to second guess your abilities, but could you check again?
Guess your abilities, but could you check again?
I just said.
Wait, don't. I apologize.
I simply struggles to comprehend such a brazen, selfish man.
Selfish man could have any legitimacy whatsoever.
It's not just him, it was his family. But it must at least allow me to take a moment to clear my head, meet me beside Ethering later. Perhaps I had thought of a new strategy by then.
Have dealings with the people here in Ethering. Perhaps they know something that we can use against them.
I just kind of want to get to 141. I mean, Saruman has interesting clothing. So, you know. Wait, am I talking to the tax man? Are you the tax man or tax collector?
How may I help you?
They haven't done any business yet. They should get to it though. Gondor won't rebuild itself. Nothing. Interesting. Oh, interesting actually. 886. So we're actually getting full experience from these.
How may I help
Probably
you,
because this is like a slightly higher quest line now, 141 compared to like 140. But not many. He hires some horses to carry lumber out of the yard. How many times? Maybe once every other week, if that. Interesting. They've done no work, yet they've moved lumber.
These are troublesome times indeed.
All me and my fellows want to do is good, honest work, and the boss is sitting on rear ends most of the days. We stole his cloak clasp. We made the cloak ourselves, to be fair. Speaking of, I actually have 2 more cloak clasps. I just need a third, and I have every cloak. I just need Dragok scales, but... Let's confront him with this information. Are we going to do that? Am I going to complete a quest line?
The knowledge that Dravron is
I'm going to have to fight him. He's got his bow.
The Lord Devorin moves to confront the lumber camp's leader.
Hired fighter. Hired fighter. Okay.
To turn to violence.
Let me just...
But in case they do, he has bid you to join him.
Don't mind me. It's fine. The business I conduct is on behalf of all of Gondor. The entire kingdom suffers. Yet you sit in the lumberyard that could be used to rebuild those homes. Terrible business, man. I will not waste words appealing to your stone heart. That's cold. Like his heart. I would like to see your ledgers. Yes. Yes, that is true. I will have them brought to you. No, I want to see them now. No, I want them now. Because you're going to make them up. Yeah. Look at you. I don't trust that face. Counterproductive slightly, but I'm going to put a trap under you, so whatever attacks me gets hit by it. Thought you had the perfect scheme going, but you got greedy, didn't you? Not for much longer by the looks of it. Also, if you haven't made a sale, how are you affording these hired help? Hello, skirmisher. I will defeat you. Come on. Try and fight me. Oh, we can get you on that. Yeah. I should get a dog, a pet, out. And then it'll kind of work. I don't know who's who, but, you know. It's Heartseeker him. Oh wait, he doesn't have one. Oh, it's one of those. Hey, you can't actually, you know, kill him. I mean, defeat him. Yeah, now what? Huh? Something of a leader for the workers here. But good folk who wish to do their part to see Gondor renewed. Ah, they said the thing. Okay, cool. A little bit of a sidetrack, but that's fine. Happy with that. And then we'll pop up to here, do the epic, and then maybe pop over here, see how that goes. But that brings us a little bit closer. Also, we have more quests apparently, but
hopefully this spells the end of this sordid affair.
Wait, should we just run over? Like, I'm quite close. I assumed that was the end, but maybe it's just like a, hey, let's check. Oh, we've got a load of wood now because we're actually doing our job. We also got some uncommon traceries, which is nice. We obviously can't open it yet, but worth having. Speaking of worth having, let's make sure we have all the stuff that we do want. It's really weird to see 15 on there, but that's fine. Lump of Umbari wax, and then we've also got sea stone. And we also got sturdy log of Umbari wood. I'm not really worried about crits right now, but I am curious about having crafting items just because if I can craft myself like a bow or a club or what have you, might be worth having.
How may I help you, friend?
You know when I said distracted? I'm not going to worry about those, and I'm curious about these. Monks are new. Oh, right, they are exactly the same.
When next you are at Ethring, ask around to see if anyone is interested in earning some coin.
That is not the voice I expected to come from that face. Okay, we'll get rid of under new management for the minute. Not necessarily get rid of it, just take it off the thing. I do need to actually clear out a load of these quests at some point. I don't know why I have Breland quests. Oh, yeah, it's because of that one. I wanted to see if this ever changed up to like 90 minutes for some stupid reason, but it doesn't, so I should probably just finish it. I'll keep the Umbari hides as well. I don't really care about the other stuff. Alright, and let's do a little bit of actually playing the game. Car long. A man stands in front of the the door.
She doesn't want to see you, Kaibar.
Okay. You're with the new king, just as Kaibar seems to be. You can keep moving, same as my nephew. We're in everything. Know your kind of behind putting this Ellis on the throne, and we are not going to let you interfere with the life of the Ring of Vale. When Kaibar left, it broke his mother's heart, but it broke it again when he became the puppet of elves like you. She doesn't want to see him. Oh, that's just rude. He's wrong about the king. Killing Elisar is a good man. He wants to be the best for Gondor. I don't have time to upset about this. I was given a task by my king. I'm going to see it done. Let's do what we can for the folk of Ethering, and perhaps my mother and uncle will see that King Elisar is not a pawn of the elves or anyone else. Here are the concerns of the villagers. We've already heard his concern. It's that I'm an elf, which feels a little unfair. She stares at you with cold eyes and refuses to say anything. Why are these people so mean? Which is weird, because, like, some of them remember me helping them. So, like, where's the roving threat person? They know me. Suspiciously, and says nothing. Moments that the best way to help Ethring is to leave. I don't think that's gonna happen. No offense. Does anyone want our help? Kaiba appears more defeated than you ever see him, and you ask what happened. I told my uncle I would leave if we told him what truly wants, but that I would like to retrieve some of the sketches I left inside when I departed from his turf. He said that when I was gone, my mother burned them all. There's nothing left me here, and the king and queen have not arrived. We should move on to Calambel. The king said he might rejoin us in Lamadon. Okay, I have a thought. Maybe she does want to see him, and he just doesn't, and he's like lying. Because it feels like everybody's just lying so far. I don't know. Feels like not everybody is being entirely truthful. But I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. You never know. Maybe I'm right. That'd be more interesting. Okay. But first I want to go do this because honestly, we're 1.8 million away. If we're getting 800,000 from standard quests, then hopefully the epic is going to give us a little more. And also, chapter 211. So I'm hoping soonish we get to the end of chapter 2. Be interesting to happen. Hi.
Gondor needs
I remember you. Yes, good. His voice trembles as he given up on stilling the tremor in his hands, but his spirit is brighter than he ever seen before. I've seen my sons. I'm very proud of them. I was afraid when Derovin came home, he and Avathor would quarrel over the lordship of the Vale, but it's never crossed their mind. It does me good to see them working hard for the people that we had charged to protect. I want Laerind too, of course. Of course, she reminds me of Halloween sometimes. Yes, and the cleverness and fortitude. Okay, so he's kind of, yeah, he's rambling on. Symptom of my age, no doubt. The awareness in his eyes flickers and he falls silent. He looks at you for a few long moments until some spark brings him back to the present. I remember the last time you were here, the sky was so angry. Now look at it. Look at the beauty of the Vale in kind of light. Look upon Ethring as it was meant to be seen. Let's go. Look. And then look at southern Ringlow Vale. Probably just over here, right? Okay, if that's going to give me 800,000, I'm taking it.
These are troublesome times indeed.
Cool. I'll take 800k to just look into the distance. And then where are we going? Lamadon or Calambel? Stablemaster. Stablemaster won't work because we have been there. Just not in this portion of the map or this. Yeah. Yeah. You know what I'm saying. One of the nice things, though, is there's a couple, like, completing quests. That gives us 3,000. Reclaiming these areas only gives us 1,000. I think they've kind of settled on 1,000 for the 1,000 virtual experience for, like, explorers, which I kind of get. But we're getting most of these as we go. And then finding 2 other areas, just, like, extra, doesn't sound like a massive amount of work for 1,000, you know, extra virtual experience and stuff. And obviously, once we get all that, we get an extra 4,000, so we're going to get like 9,000 total. And sounds like a pretty good and hopefully relatively easy time. Right, though. Are we going to move my map, I think? Move that back down to where it belongs. And then off we go. To Calambel. Are we just making our way up? Like, are we gonna go Morlad and Sardol? I mean, that's a really nice looking Balfourless map. Dol Amroth. There is a renewal of Gondor rewards at Dol Amroth, so I'm curious to see if we can get there, and if we can maybe have a little look at maybe some cosmetics if they've been added. And travel skills as well. I don't know. Marks of renewal. I have 108, and the max is 750, which is an odd number. You think normally like 999 or 500. Those are kind of what you expect. Also, I am way too far. Also, I'm still waiting for Jajax. I don't even know if Jajax is part of this. I just want him to be part of it. Hi, how you doing? He excitedly calls us over. True, they are here with their entire retoon. I still can't say that word. As I'm going and speak to Galamgull. Gam. Okay. Look at the shop in the northwest. Inside the city, you might catch a glimpse of them. Imagine how the king and queen here in Lamendon. Never would expect them to travel so far from his turf, and yet I saw them with my own eyes. He'd be terrible. Like, he just told us where the king and queen are to, like, in his eyes, some random stranger. It's probably not the greatest idea. Luckily, we're good, but, you know, maybe don't go blurting it out all the time.
Our hurts are so easily forgotten by those in power.
Why is everybody so grumpy?
A king has come again to Gondor.
What do you want?
Okay. That is just literally go to the place where we're probably going to end up in anyway. Like Tardent. Tadrint, whatever. Pretty sure is either down here. Yeah. So, if we're going to get sent over there anyway, I may as well get the quest.
Greetings, I am Roosquin, maker of fine barrels and crepes.
Is an interesting voice to go with. I'm not going to get too distracted. I just want to...
Greetings, I am Calfeth, pottery merchant and...
want to have a look at what we are given. So let's pick up the picnic basket. Okay, it's asked you to bring meals to farmers outside the walls of Calambel. You should pick up the picnic basket and bring them their meals. Well, I'm sure they can live with a little bit more time before they need to be talked to. Let's go this way. What is that quest? Seeking slats. Okay, so we can find some wood. I mean, some very if we can get some, like, you know, kind of easy-ish quests on the go. And I shall take it. But that's also if I actually have enough of the items I need. I need 10, so I'm going to have to go to the other area. So we'll come here, go over there, finish there, give the picnic, go up here, and then we can loop back round, go and talk to them, and then we can go up to this area at some point and complete whatever's going on there. And then, yeah, even one of these, well, I don't know if necessarily one of these, but hopefully the epic is enough. But even just doing one of these or two of these should give us enough experience to level up, and we can at least get to 141. We can start looking at a reforge then. That'll be interesting to have a look at, and also start using some of these enhancement runes we've been picking up slowly but surely to add on. And then I'll try and maybe use up my my rares here and stuff. Like, I've got quite a few, and I don't think I have anywhere particularly to use them on now. Like, I have a lot of rares because, you know, at some point rares became useless in a sense because, you know, you kind of hit that level, whereas now they actually have a use, and my stockpile is helping. So my insane tracery stockpile, I've just realized, on Faerend is going to be so useful. Like, I think I have enough to carry me through the rest of the game now, pretty much, like enhancement room wise. Which, to be fair, it was never an issue of having enough enhancement runes. It was always a case of having the traceries. So, oh, I guess I didn't need that final one. Whatever, it's fine. Hey, how you doing? Yeah, the thing is, I didn't do a lot of, a massive amount of Gundabad weeklies, which is why I didn't have incomparables that I needed. But having rares you got by doing, like, other stuff. That's why I think rares are going to be the nice middle ground for it. Like, getting incomparables is, if it's still the same amount of effort in comparison, I think it's better just to go with rares and stuff. Unless you're starting from scratch. For some reason. Like if you've got a brand new tracery being added. Otherwise, I don't necessarily think that needs to happen. Wait, do I have my furniture? No, I don't. I have a furniture carry-all on my other character. Just because. Yeah, right now, the only, like, somewhat consistent way to do it is delvings. In my opinion. And even then, that's not even consistent. It is just pure luck. Like, I have enough for 115 to carry, like, get me to legendaries in 115 constantly. But, once I get past that, that's like 17 tracery tokens. Getting 17 tracery tokens again, in fact, I think it then turns into 19. It's just not really viable. So that's why I'm actually trying to farm the boxes more than the tokens. Like tokens is like looking at this, tokens is for heraldries, you know, words of power and words of craft. Everything here, words of mastery, I can in theory get from a box. So if I can stockpile a couple of boxes from whatever content, there is one quest in Gundabad, there's one quest in Mordor that lets me get a tracery box, a legendary one. So obviously it's not guaranteed to be the right one, and we can get duplicates and whatever, but that can slightly help. But yeah, there needs to be a better way of getting tracery tokens at different levels. Like I don't think at this moment there is a way of getting Athelian ones that isn't just the box. Which is a little bit sad. Yeah, because I looked 15-year celebration box, Adventurer's Steelbound loot box, so that makes sense, obviously. And then, yeah, delvings. But you can get them from tier 1 delvings, so I can technically do them on more characters then. 886, and then coming over here should level us up. We are only 48k away from leveling. So completing this quest. There we are. 141. Not from an epic, but I think we definitely needed to get to 141. It wasn't like needed. Like it wasn't going to be the difference between us succeeding and failing, but it just lets me open a couple things. So now I can open... oh, the Gundabad tracery looks different. That's interesting. I don't know why I have a random shattered one in my inventory, but it looks different. Oh, Enhanced Runes Incomparable. It's interesting. I have those. I also have all these Delver's Lively Essences that I got for... I never used, but I feel like are useless to hold on to now. That's fun. Anyway, it's this box here. Boom. Let's open that. Oh, it was a tracery. I thought it was a tracery box, like a tracery Enhanced Runes. That's what I meant. Also, it's explosive arrows, though. Kind of useless. Man's like true. The shop is very crowded. Where's my flame? Cool. Hi. How you doing? I don't know. Shopkeepers of Gallant. Okay, cool.
If there was ever any doubt that I sell only the finest of goods, let that doubt now be dispelled.
And the personal merchant of the King and Queen of Gondor themselves, as I have always dreamed. Let's grab ourselves these.
Megovanen.
Belnavar, thank you for the follow. Much appreciated. We finally have these. Again, cosmetically is our main focus. It looks like we're getting armor, jewelry, armor, jewelry, armor, jewelry. That seems to be the way. Or like armor, non-armor, armor, non-armor, because we also got weapons alongside it. But let's add boots, which I don't think I added originally. shoulders. Slowly building up the look. And I can now add the swords, can't I? It's so weird that I couldn't equip... Oh, I guess they don't have a level. Makes sense. Anyway. So this is our, like, kind of look so far. Like, maybe get rid of the cloak thing. And I have... This is my mariner kind of look. Maybe we'll
When I awoke
do that.
this morning, I did not think I should be made the king's own merchant by the afternoon.
Let the passing of the war lead to great wealth and riches for Gam. I cannot say his name. Personal mention of the king and queen of Gondor. I think he's going to be like, you're not actually king. Personal.
Galangam has been promised nothing of the kind by either my
Yeah, I thought
husband
so.
or myself.
He seems so happy that neither of us had the chance to correct him. He's an excitable man, is he not? True.
How were your travels? Were you able to help the folk of Dora and Ernie in the
not
Ringlow
quite.
Vale?
Sorry to hear that. The war is not easy on everyone, and I sympathize with the plight of Kaiba's family, even if I believe they treat him unfairly. I can only hope that in time they will open their hearts to him again. Of course, now speak with Prince Imrahil of Dol Amroth. I've sent Rosaran ahead to prepare our way. So again, I think it's a lot of travel thing. Like, a lot of the time, the quests themselves are relatively easy. It's just that... the time it takes, you know. Now we need to go Dol Amroth, but I'm really kind of want to. Okay, I'll do it later, but I do kind of want to jump up here to, like, you know, because that's where we found Jajax and stuff. Who elected me king? I am king of specifically all my characters. Get myself a little crown. Right, though. A lot of traveling. As I said, that's kind of the main thing I'm learning here. Like, I thought about this. There was a... I can't remember what it was specifically, but there was a bit of content where I was like, I wonder if I cut out all the traveling back and forth, how much time, like, it's saved. How much time am I traveling versus how much time am I participating? But I can't remember exactly what it was. I feel like it's an early game thing. For some reason. I need to remember, though, we do have a quest for this area to Tadrint, which I'm realizing I called Tardent earlier, but, you know, 142 quest, actually. We can actually use these Athelas essences as well, and free experience, I guess. I'm sure it will also lead on to another bit of content, but we shall leave that for the moment. Belfulous Mountains. Be curious to go down here. Be kind of nice if they added this stuff, like when they open these pathways, if they added them to the past, like, area. Like, I don't necessarily expect them to let me go up here, but maybe if you could see that, I don't know if you can, but, like, if you can maybe see that in pre-battle and stuff, be kind of cool. This guy's really struggling with his angry gnat swarm. Okay. So we're just here. 2 reasons. 1, to give you a delivery.
You are here to help.
And let's see what quests you have. Is it just...
We must not take these days for
I don't want to pick up lilies. Okay, that's little content that I feel like won't take that long, but is definitely something that we're not going to worry about just this moment.
Shadow of War is now behind us, and Gondor...
No, that's a different game. Shadow of War, you can't. Are you really... I'm really curious. I've never seen a watchman die, like a guard die. Do they have no AI? Or is it because it's like... No, but it's grayed out because it's attacking it. I mean, I could help. Very easily. I don't want to, though. I'm curious. Is it morbid? It's really interesting. I hope he respawns. Can you imagine if he just, like, never respawned? Like, the guards just die, and that's it. Like, tough. Okay, we should also make sure we get Oslond here. I will inform them by post so that I don't have to, like, see their reaction. I think that's the best. Again, am I, like, complicit in like... I guess it wouldn't be murder necessarily, but... I don't know. What does that make me? Am I an accomplice, in a sense? Like, I could have stopped it, but I chose not to. What does that make me? A bad person? Probably. Okay, more stable masters, which is literally the entire reason I'm here.
You are most welcome, my
Hello.
friend.
Thank you.
The long night has ended and the sunrise is upon...
See, that is the attitude I want. She was very happy. The sunrise is come. The other guys are like, I hate you. You're with the king. You're gonna enslave us, and capture us. I'm like, well, I helped you like 2 months ago. Remember that warband that was around here and the roving threats and stuff that I just killed? Without even being asked? And now you're treating me like this? Which feels a little unfair. Oh, Harrodwaith. The Shield Isles, the Cape of Umbar, and the Umbar Bell. Yeah, so that's actually the place where I think the decoration takes you. Right? I don't know if it necessarily takes you there, but this decoration whispers of a jewel-toned harbor city, so I'm guessing that is where we shall go. Actually, really curious. Like, obviously, we're only on chapter 2 still, and we've got 5 more chapters to go. But, like, when do we go to... So we got, like, Outer Gondor, which I don't think we've been here before. It's not a map that, like, speaks to me. I'm guessing no. No, we haven't been there, like, because Eric is there. Now you got Harrodwaith. I don't want to spoil myself by actually looking, though. That's the thing. I want to experience it. Like, I didn't play on Bullroar or whatever. Because, I don't know, I want to experience it for the very first time. Okay, let's go speak with Prince Imrahil. Bring us by the quickest way. After all, I have spent many years in service of this city. So have I.
It is
kind
good
of.
to see cheer restored to the Palace of the Swan. When last I was here, the mood was grim.
Yeah, I got kicked off a boat last time I was here. So, you know. Many of the prince's court and the greatest part of this one night went with Imrahil to minister for waging the war, but his daughter Lothriel managed to rule the city while he was away. The Dol Amroth still stands as a testament to her ability. Tells me you learned much from her father.
I introduce to the court King Elisar and Queen Arwen and their loyal companions.
Hi again. Been a while.
I bid you welcome to Dol Amroth and the Palace of the Swan. My daughter and her friends were just leaving.
AKA, get out of here.
Is this a poor time? I hope we bring no interruption.
Oh, none at all, my king. Dorthaneth was a help to me when I ruled Dol Amroth while my father was away.
Yeah, she pulled me aside.
She was a dear friend, and remains so.
But when you say was a dear friend...
I cherish her visits, but this one was just ending.
I pray you will stay a little longer, leader of the Arboreen. I had hoped to speak with you as well.
Ooh. Going around speaking to a lot of people.
My folk expect my return. I should not keep them waiting.
The Queen asks you to stay. Surely you can heed her wish?
Yeah.
If you would come here, please.
Yes. What up? Don't be jealous. Just a moment. The Queen says she's seriously relieving a finely crafted bowl and jar from a recess of light. She removes the cork stopper from the mouth of the jar and slowly pours a crystal clear water containing within the bowl, spilling not a drop. We set this on the floor just there. Oh, it's gonna be a roaming star thing, I'm guessing. Is it roaming star specifically?
I do not understand what this means.
Or is it one of the other river maidens?
This is water from the river Gilrine, which flows out of the White Mountains. You know this water, Dorthaneth, for you drowsed long beside it and came to sorrow.
What does she mean?
She is a river.
This cruelty is unbecoming of you.
Somehow, I don't know.
Of Gondor.
I seek not to be cruel. But there are two hearts to be mended here, not just one.
She likes the river maiden.
Will you not do your part, Nimrodel?
I have not answered
Oh, okay.
that maid in
I thought we were gonna
many
have like a
years.
relationship thing going on.
Maybe so, but there is one here who remembers.
Oh, maybe there is a thing going on. Yeah, roaming star. Woo! The Queen wants to speak, so I shall. Long ago and for always, I dwelt within the base of the river Gilrain, and my music was the song of sunlight in the water. The wind and the leaves, and his lovely songs. My sisters had gone away, and I did not think I would see them again. Animals came to the stream to drink, and birds to bathe, but except for such creatures, I was alone and felt the pain. Until one day, an elf maid tarried by the river as she journeyed southward from a distant land. She was more beautiful and radiant than anyone I had ever seen. I sang to her, and she delighted in my song, and I remained her. For a reminder of her of home, just beside my stream, and I was gladdened by her presence. The music I made held more enchantment than ever it had before. She slept at the banks of the Gilrain, comfortable and safe, and I was no longer alone. I dreamt that once she awoke, she would fashion a home for herself in my wood. I would teach her my song, and she would call me sister. She would have children of her own, elf children of merry eyes and high voices, and I would show them the flower fields and secret springs. They would fashion bright-colored petal crowns to wear, and their mother would delight in them. I was a happy dreamer that lasted too long, and when she last awoke, many seasons had passed. The elf ship had waited in distant harbor for her to arrive, could no longer wait. With selfish hand, I stole that life away from her, and I grieve every day at the sorrow I caused her. I did not intend such sadness to befall, and I would not take it back if I could. And yet it is my doing, and the guilt weighs heavily upon my every moment.
I do not expect you to forgive me, Nimrodel.
There is kind of a...
wanted me to speak to you of my sorrow. I think that is not cruelty.
The world is cruel and it always has been. Can you know my story and say it is not so? Amroth was the king among elves, but to me he was more. He was my love and the brightest star in the night sky. Depart, Nimrodel, he said to me, for the dwarves have awoken terrible evil. I wonder what that was. And we stay to endanger our folk too. I cannot believe his words. I believe them still. Oh, and I believed his words. I believe them still. For all I know what befell in the centuries since, as he cannot. And when I had made ready the ship, I traveled a small company to join him in the distant harbor. The passage of the mountain was hard. The high crags filled me with unease. The rocky way troubled my heart. And at last, we descended into lowlands. Not the lone lands, the lowlands. I danced in the woods and became separated from my folk, so grateful that I leave the mountains behind. The sound of the River Gilrain was beautiful, and its music had magic in it. And whatever else befell, I can still remember how it was. I know that I loved it. I slept in peace for so long, and by the time I woke, a fell wind had come from the north and driven my lover's ship from the shore, never to return. It said Amroth leapt from the ship and braved the waves as he might wait for me, but never again was he seen by elf or by man, though I walked the shore for uncounted days and innumerable nights. I dwelt in the sorrow that day forth, never far from the bay where I lost my love, and I have worn this mourning veil for so long I can remember the sight of the sun without it. I held my grief close, and it too has held me. Until now, I believed the weight of those heavy chains was only mine to carry. Do not know you sorrow too, maiden of the Gilrain. It was not for you to feel this way. Do not burden yourself with the grief that is mine. I spoke of cruelty. The greatest cruelty is that this sadness, not address, I cannot read, must snare more than one heart for so many years. She's gonna remove the veil? Is that what's gonna happen?
Did not know.
You want me to like shuffle the wardrobe?
There is
what you were
much
asking for?
sadness in the world, maiden of the Gilrain.
I'm
But
totally saying that
there
wrong,
is
man.
Beauty, too. I do forgive you, roaming star, for your part in what befell. But know that of blame, yours was never the greatest share.
Aragorn's just like, I just wanted to chat. And so concludes my queen's greatest purpose in this journey. Tell Val she desired to ease Romingstar's burden. I believe she would need to visit the cave of the Avarim to make an attempt. We were fortunate that Nimrodel was here in the palace of the Swan, and now we have saved some time. I said Arwen's purpose in this journey has ended, but of course mine is only beginning. We speak to Prince Imrahil about the continued presence of the Corsairs that threaten Gondor's shoreline, and also the rise of the Kindred of the Coins in Umbar across the Bay of Belfalis. But we have already achieved some good today. For Romingstar and Nimrodel, each deserve the peace and happiness that the sorrow stole from them. I hope we have helped lighten their burdens today. I think we have. Let's finish that, and because that's an instance, I feel like that is going to be the end of chapter 2. That just feels the way that's gonna go. So let's see if that's the case. So we get a bracelet, which is interesting considering it gives us agility, will, and might, rather than just having like choices. But fine. Or it could just give us vitality, which a lot of them do. And it does give us a ton of vitality. We're probably not going to use it.
Just a few days ago,
Also,
the city watch apprehended a man lurking outside the city.
J-Jax? Okay, I'm going to leave that one there. I'm not going to pick up that quest. And maybe we'll just have a quick look at this stuff. I think what I'm going to do is I'm probably going to leave it there, because that's a chapter, right? That's an entire chapter. So that's 3 hours of recording. And I want to just quickly... I'm going to finish on Tar Valad for today. I know I said I was going to do like 4 hours, but I think that's a perfect time to finish. And I'm going to jump on Tar Valad because Tar Valad is a crafter, a tailor specifically, currently, and he is maxed out on tailor. So what I want to do is just have a little look at what the new crafting materials are. Also, I'm really curious on legendary items. Also, I didn't reforge. Should have done that. I'll remember to do that next time. But Faerand is currently in the Slag Hills. But yeah, I'm a little curious. Obviously, if a chapter, obviously they're not all going to be equal, but if a chapter is taking like 3 hours and we've got 5 more chapters to go, that's still 15 hours of content, which obviously is not going to be about that exactly, but that is crazy if true. Obviously we got a little bit distracted by some content, but if it's 3 hours a chapter, which again, it's not going to be equal all the way around, that's a good chunk of content. And then that's just story, not even counting side content, and then you add in like instances and stuff. And I know I said it last time, I said it with Gundabad and I said it with Before the Shadow, but I do really want, and I think me being more excited for Umbar in general will help with this, but I do want to, if I can, try and do a little bit more group stuff this time, because I did a lot actually before the shadow. I was doing quite a bit of group content, and then I very quickly fell off doing it, and I just didn't continue, and I regret doing that, I think. Anyway, so let's have a little look. So I got my tailor. Oh, are you kidding me? I'm a Minas Ithil. I mean, an Umbar. I mean, I can do that, but I thought I was a... Okay, Kestor it is. Okay, well, I want to have a little look at some stuff first. So, obviously, I got 250 on those, and then 240. And I have got Essence Carryall. Yeah, so these are +4. And these are plus, like, 3, 1. So I'm not actually going to use the legendaries. I feel like that's just kind of a little bit redundant. I think best thing to do is use like 3 of these on each one. Because otherwise you're wasting still. So get up to 249 and then just add the 1 on, basically. I don't think it's going to really help too much. Like, a bit more physical mastery, a bit more crit. Like, we're already capped on those. My only thing would be if I was getting more, like, physical mastery. But, yeah, I don't know. Something major that I can do with it, but I think the ability to cap them all out is fun. Like, it's a lot more satisfying to me to be like, right, I have capped out my legendary. Like, obviously I haven't done the other one, but like, I have capped that out. And also, it kind of makes it nicer because I can, like, obviously I have a lot of enhancement runes just like laying about, but it makes like my other completionist characters a little bit easier to deal with. It makes like getting alternate weapons, like tanking weapons and stuff, done a little bit nicer. So it's kind of cool. I don't know if there's anything on here that particularly matters. Like, I do get more finesse, that's kind of nice, but otherwise it's just crit, physical mastery and stuff, and because I already capped those, it's not really going to help. So I'm going to log out of here and actually log into where my actual crafter is, because again, I thought I had done Minas Tirith crafting on Taylor here, but I have not clearly. I think Kestor, though, who is also in the Cycles, so I don't know, maybe I'll see Faye around. Is good there. But yeah, we'll do this, and then I might do like a little end of video sort of thing, and then yeah, we'll finish off for the evening, and then we should be back tomorrow as well for a stream, same sort of thing, just carrying on. Yeah, so Umbar, so Captain Signal or Burglar Signals, that's kind of cool. I like that. I like that the Burglar Signals, because these don't, but I like that immediately essence, like 2 essences as well, primary essence, basic essence. I'm guessing this this primary essence, basic essence is kind of a continuation of the way they did the cloaks and stuff in the necklace. That just seems like natural progression from that. I wonder if that has an essence. Yeah, these have essences as well. That's really interesting. I think that's good because that gives you like more variety, I think. So light armor, we don't care about light armor, but I am curious about like this armor. Yeah, so this stuff has these essences on it, which is really interesting to me. And this is 141, so obviously it's not going to help too much right now because I'm actually going to be losing stats because I don't have like 140 essences or whatever, but or 141 essences. But that's interesting that I could, so in theory I need red sea stones. Oh, these are rare items though. That's interesting. But I could craft these in theory. I'm assuming red sea stones here, I'm gonna guess, are like sunstone shards and stuff. I'm guessing. So that's interesting. But I could craft, and obviously you've got a crit version as well. I could just craft like, you know, 141 immediate stuff, right? If I had the gear to do, and I could, again, as you're saying, trade essences from rep vendors, I could like get through a Tarvelard, get maybe a couple of items, like if I'm lucky, do some, you know, harvesting or whatever, get these, and then sort of after that, for my other characters at 140 and I'm leveling up, I can just like craft a sort of generic base set of armor if I haven't already got delving sets, and then put some stuff on it. That seems like, obviously I got to get to 141 first, but I think it's a good way of doing it. I like having the choice, because sometimes like old armor I actually quite liked when you had like 3 different types. It was like, oh, you have 3 different sets of armor you choose and you kind of mix and match. I quite like that, and then obviously essences kind of took that over, and then crafted stuff didn't really get that, but crafting stuff does now. Because yeah, I haven't really kept up with the crafting rework, so I haven't actually like properly looked at anything there. Oh, Tarvelard looks so weird. I'm not used to seeing him like that. And now we're going to take forever to log in. Be fun. Oh, that was a horrible sound. Right. Okay, I do want to reforge as a final thing. Because I'm curious. I don't use my single target one, right? Which is weird, because you think I would use a single target because that's like majority of content. But I'll reforge them all because I've got the money. I am always curious, so I'm not really going to worry about this one. But something I always do when I reforge my weapons is I look at a before and after. So just because I know I can look on the wiki, it depends if it's on the wiki yet, but I like seeing the, wow, okay, that is a significant DPS increase considering 1 level. Obviously, technically it's 5 levels because reforge at 136. But that is actually... that's a pretty beefy jump, honestly. And now stats are 515. So I'm curious. Yeah, these are still... oh no, I haven't done that reforged that one. I can go up to 499 with this. So I can still go up higher, but I cannot go higher than 499. I can't go 500. So... crafting-wise, I don't know what's going to replace this. If anything at the minute, or if the delvings are going to give out like versions of this that are then higher level, or if it's just going to be tough, you don't get the set bonus anymore, or what have you. But that'll be interesting to look at. Do a little bit more research. Also, I know obviously Bullroar was out, but considering releases today, it means that like more people play it and then more people like understand it. But yeah, you're all right. It's 20 eye levels, which is a pretty decent jump. And then yeah, that damage there. I kind of wish I got like a skill and looked at a before and after, but I'm pretty happy with that. And again, I have my current stuff. So what I might do is, because I can get these up to 499, I might just jump everything up to 499. Not because I necessarily need to, but I may as well. Like, is that or I'm replacing? So that might take a little bit of time, but I do have these, and I have a couple like the basic ones and whatever. And yeah, see what I can get up to 499. I think at least getting the heraldries and like the Gundabad words of craft sorted and stuff, like the main ones. I don't think any give me morale except these, which is like why I actually care. But you know, getting a little bit more crit or maybe finesse or physical mastery. Like I don't really care much about agility itself, but yeah, crit, finesse, physical mastery, that kind of thing could be worth it. Because again, percentage-wise don't go up. It's only the base, like the stats that go up. But yeah, I think I'm going to leave it there for tonight, though. So a little bit shorter than I'd actually slightly planned it to be. But I think it's a perfect time for us to finish with, you know, Chapter 3 starting up. And then we'll be back tomorrow with a new stream where might be a little bit longer. and we can maybe get chapter 3 done, and then maybe do like also a bit of chapter 4 and see if we can get how far we can get there. And also, because we will have left it a day, any quests that require a lot of like, hey, go to this location, kill 8 enemies or whatever, like the brigands earlier and the rats and whatever. Was it rats? The rats in the beginning, the brigands, and then there's also one earlier, which I can't remember off the top of my head, but we also had slight issue, like grouping up. Hopefully that dissipates because people will be more spread out. A lot of people are probably just going to be, you know, I wouldn't be surprised if someone's already 150. Yes, of course they are. 149, 146. So yeah, no surprise there. And, you know, it just lets it sort of filter out a little bit. But anyway, that's going to be it for now. Thank you all for coming along to the stream. Hope you all enjoyed. Thank you for helping me slightly, because I have not paid attention to the content, and I clearly maybe should next time. But yeah, I'm going to go now. Thank you all for coming along, as I said, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.